In a zombie world, survivors only care about supplies and weapons. Our hero Xiang had everything. He knew apocalypse was coming and prepared early. He built a fortress, stocked supplies, and gathered friends to live well during the apocalypse. His supplies would run out, but then he got a system that gave him tasks. Completing tasks gives him loot boxes with rewards, resources, and buffs to get stronger. It all began with betrayal, as always. In a warehouse, our hero hung by thread above zombies. His girlfriend, Zheng Xiaoyong, mocked him, saying she killed his friends. Xiang regretted his mistakes that cost his friends' lives. He blamed himself, then yelled at the woman, promising her a painful death. His empty threat meant nothing to her, as she clung to her sugar daddy and complained about hurt feelings. The Fatso leader wanted Xiaong tortured to death. He even thanked him for leaving supplies. Enough for months. Our hero met his end, falling into the zombie cage. The zombies attacked him, tearing his flesh as he lay helpless and in pain. Xiaoyang screamed, vowing revenge. If given a second chance, he'd destroy Jing and Liu Xiang. The gods heard his wish. In the next scene, he woke up as his past self. Qi Jing stood before him, yelling about not being on his property. Xiaoyang ignored her, realizing he was back before the apocalypse. Guilt hit him as he recalled Qi Jing's betrayal. She ruined his family's inheritance and wealth. She was an apocalypse herself. Like typical zombie stories, humans got infected and hunted each other. Xiaoyang's friends helped him make a safe zone. Things went well until she arrived, pretending to be lost. He pitied her and let her in, his biggest mistake. Being nice cost him. She took advantage, inviting her group into the safe zone. She stood nearby, yelling for money, showing how awful she was. He glared at her, wanting to strangle her, but knew it wasn't the time. He shoved her outside because she wouldn't stop talking. The door slammed on Qi Jing's face. Her confusion was satisfying. The man she treated like a slave just kicked her out. Back home, Xiaoyang saw the calendar. He had 1 month before the apocalypse. A system screen popped up, activating the apocalypse system. His goal? Own land. Prepare a year of supplies. The reward was 10 points for the store. Xiaoyang looked happy. He was glad to have this new system to help him through the apocalypse. The store had 3 items: enhancement potion, a survival kit, and a protagonist supply box. Each cost different points. Things were better than expected. Xiaoyang remembered his past misery, saving every penny for Qi Jing's dowry, even starving himself. All for a girl who betrayed him. He grabbed his phone, realizing he should order food before zombies took it all. That night he enjoyed his expensive takeout dinner. He was so eager for the pork. 1 bite and he felt godlike, becoming super strong. Just kidding, but it tasted amazing. He ate like a starving child. Then his phone rang loudly. Xiaoyang checked. It was Qi Jing's best friend Wen Shuya. Like a toxic friend, she yelled at him for dismissing his girlfriend. She annoyed him so much he hung up. He focused on getting land. His goal: build a strong, defensible fortress near water and forests. The next day, he went to a real estate company. Consultant greeted him, asking if he wanted to buy or rent. Before he could answer, her boss, Jay, interrupted. He told her to do low-level tasks, not front desk work. He shoved her aside, telling her to work in the back, even though she was helping a client. Manager Jay insults Xiaoyang. Xiang quickly defends himself. 71. The manager keeps insulting Xiaoyang, saying he's poor. Xiaoyang hates him and plans revenge. He pulls out an Amex card, saying he's here to buy land. Everyone is shocked he wants to buy land, realizing he's a rich client. Consultant Xiaoning asks him to follow for a detailed briefing. Manager Jay is annoyed, thinking the kid is just bragging. Xing shows him a list of land options. He doesn't want a list. He'll state his exact needs. He wants land near mountains, with water, good transport, and a factory or big house. Xing considers options based on his needs. Manager Jay suggests a bad plot in the East District to mock him. Xiang avoids it due to unfinished factories. The manager thinks Xiaoyang's demands are fake and he won't buy anything. Xiaoyang asks if the East District plot fits his needs. Xiaoting agrees but warns about unfinished factories and a missing leader. Xiaoyang checks the plot records. It's a good, defensible plot. Unfinished factories are a bonus. 85. He agrees to buy the plot. The consultant is shocked he'd buy land with unfinished factories. Xiang wants the contract to spite the manager. Manager Jay screams at the bill, wondering why anyone would pay millions for land with old factories. Xiaoyang reminds Manager Jay of their deal. Since he bought the land, the manager must eat dirt. As Xiaoyang leaves, other customers mock the manager, filming him. They're eager to help. He completed 1 mission by buying land. Now he needs to stockpile resources for a year. 91. Shuzhang sees him and wonders why he's there. Fudgy the whale sees the absurd scene. People force-feed Manager Jay on a live stream. It's a terrible fate. The gross scene changes to Qi Jing, looking seductive. She gets a call from Shuang, who tells her about Xiaoyang's visit to the real estate company. 97. She's furious, asking how he bought land and with what money. Shu Shang says he used her bride money. Qi Jing is angry. Big Mac tells her to ask him directly. He's thinking about his next plan. Money is a problem. He needs a lot for resources and building his base. 100 a loud knock interrupts him. It's two angry women, furious about Xiaoyang spending Qijing's money. 102 confused. He wonders what's happening. Qijing accuses him of using her money to buy land and claims ownership. Xiaoyang finds her claims absurd. 105 he throws cash at her, saying she'll never spend his money. He reveals he knows she's secretly dating Xu Jiang, shocking her. Her best friend tries to cover, calling it a misunderstanding. He's not convinced and calls her a cheater, playing him against her sugar daddy. He slams the door, telling her to leave. Qijing only cares how he found out about her secret affair, not her mistake. Her best friend is shocked, too, not knowing about the secret affair with old Xu Jiang. 110, 111, she knows they have no power over Xiaoyang now. She's a snake, happy they're fighting so she can get Xiaoyang. Back to Xiaoyang at the unfinished factory. The crew leader says they need to renovate and install defenses, which will take time. The crew jokes about the defenses. He demands it done in a month. The captain says it's impossible, even with their staff. The captain then says he'll need to pay more to finish in a month. The rushed project will cost at least 20 million. He smiles, asking if that's all. The leader says Xiaoyang also needs to pay 5 million up front. He agrees, saying he'll transfer the money in a week if they start now. The captain is speechless, wondering who he is. He warns them that if he skips payment or betrays them, he'll name the land after them to prevent damage. The deal is sealed. Then Qijing's friend interrupts, acting friendly and grabbing his arm, asking what he's doing. He's already angry, knowing she helped Qijing steal his family's property in his past life. He plans to deal with her later, but for now, he asks how she got here. She refuses to answer, asking if this is his land for a villa. Done being nice, Xiang frees himself and tells her to mind her own business. This angers her more. She can't believe his rudeness, despite her feelings for him. Xiaoyang refocuses on his project, telling the crew to make space for the gate. Ignored, she frowns, missing this chance. She knows Qijing's relationship is bad, but she can still try to steal the land. He attracts the worst women. At his apartment, Xiaozhong uses house as collateral. But it's not enough. He needs a lot of money. He even thinks of selling his place multiple times, knowing the apocalypse is coming. Who would sue him then? An annoying old man bangs on his door, shouting for Xiang to open it, shattering his peace. This is his rich neighbor, Grandpa Li. He owns the first 2 floors and now wants Xiaoyang's place. He didn't sell it before, seeing it as his wedding house. But with how things are, and the old man's constant shouting, he's changing his mind. Grandpa Li scolds him for clubbing, which Xiaoyang denies. To end the argument, he sells the house to the old man. This cheers the old man, surprised his words. Xiaoyang adds there's a condition. His new place won't be ready for 6 months, so he needs 5 million up front for his loan. It's a smart plan if he pretends. Xiaoyang plans to refuse if he declines, but the old man accepts, wanting a contract. A contract didn't bother him, knowing the old man would die after getting the house. Things look good. He'll get 5 million from Grandpa Li soon. With his own 3 million, he now has 8 million total. After finishing the first task, he can claim a mission reward. Next, he speeds through grocery stores, like a racing champion with a shopping cart. People question his sanity. See Xiaoyang with 7 overflowing carts. People think he was tricked into buying for an apocalypse. Xiaoyang ignores them and finishes the second task. He considers where to spend points. Boosting stats is an option, but the protagonist's toolbox is better. He chooses it without hesitation, spending all his points. A glowing mystery box appears, revealing a powerful space ring to store items. He's quite happy to get this legendary item. His food won't spoil in the static dimension. If you thought 1 year's supplies was next, the system now demands 10 years' worth for more points. The manager calls security for the commotion, Yang. Dao is surprised to see Xiaoyang there. Yang Dao was a school bully who tormented the weak, including him, yelling at Xiaoyang to return the supplies and stop causing a scene. He smiles fearlessly, noting Yang Dao is still the same Captain Douchebag. He promises to buy them. But the security manager thinks Xiaoyang is joking, demanding payment or consequences. An hour later, 4 cashiers finish checking out all the items. The total is almost 57,000 yuan. Yang Dao immediately forces him to insert his card and pay. Xiaoyang confidently swipes the card, acting like a genius. To the manager's shock, the payment goes through, stunning Yang Dao. Humiliated, he leaves with his men. But he calls him back, saying he was treated rudely. He demands an apology or he'll return everything. This enrages Yang Dao, who thinks the kid is pushing him and seeking trouble. But with cameras everywhere, other customers demand the rude manager apologize now, or he'll go viral on TikTok. Things go well for Xiaoyang. He reminds his old classmate that an apology won't harm him. It might even make him buy 10 times more. Yongta thinks it's a lie, but he calmly shows his balance to prove him wrong again. Yang Dao is shocked by the 7 million in his account. Xiao makes the embarrassed Yang Dao apologize. The bully bows his head and apologizes. To shame him, our boy pats his head, telling him not to be rude. Yang Dao asks what he bought. Xiao Yang says it's none of his business. He's planning something big. The manager says he'll need a wholesaler for bigger orders. Our boy asks if Yang Dao knows wholesalers. He confirms, mentioning their old leader, Zhang Sheng, is in wholesale. Yang Dao calls Zhang Sheng for a client. Xiao Yang is surprised he still works for the same boss, wondering about their earnings. Soon Yang Dao takes him to his boss. A car stops inches from them. Zhang Sheng, an arrogant man, steps out. He wants to meet the client now. Yang Dao reminds him Xiao Yang was their classmate, but much time passed so he doesn't remember. Looking closely, he realizes Xiao Yang's identity. It's the kid who always defied their group. He calls our boy's clothes fake. Xiao Yang pretends not to know the brand. Zhang Shengzhe thinks he wasted his time. The kid isn't a big client. He kicks Yang Tao, saying he can tell wealth by sight. Xiao Yang mocks the boss, saying his aura is too weak to scare anyone. Angry, Zhang Sungjia grabs his cloak. Our boy repeats himself. Zhang Shenhe is furious about being called illiterate. He doesn't care that Xiang mocked his arrogance. Yang Dao tries to stop them, but gets kicked again for interrupting. The angry boss warns Xiao Yang to buy goods or face trouble. Xiao Yang stands firm and shows his bank account. The boss is shocked. The kid plans a 1 million purchase, then says 5 million, with 1 million as a deposit. Zhang Shengzhe asks what goods he wants. The kid says all edible and drinkable items. The greedy boss plans to scam him with nearly expired food, seeing it as easy money. In the warehouse, Zhang Shengzhe shows the goods, offering 10% off for buying all. Our boy cares most about quality. He checks a bag showing most items are near expiry, exposing the boss. Chong Shenji, surprised by Xiao Yang's knowledge, offers 50% off for everything. Our boy refuses, saying 5 million deserves top quality goods. He plans to use expired goods too. The boss is confused. Xiao Yang uses the discount to negotiate. He wants all expired goods, paying in a month. Zhang Shengyi worries about it, backing out. Xiao Yang offers to mortgage his house. The boss is curious about his business. Our boy tells the boss that soon, even expired food will be a luxury. That shocks Zhang Shenghe. Xiao Yang, without explaining, seals the deal and promises the address later. On the phone, our boy learns someone wants to buy his house. He finishes with the warehouse, letting them handle it. Leaving, Yang Dao wonders if they were scammed. The boss can't grasp how a normal kid spends millions so easily. The buyer deposits 400,000 for the house, agreeing Xiao Zhong leaves in 3 months. Xiao Zhong knows chaos is coming. He's surprised by the old man's desperation, who bought without inspecting. The old man explains it's for his granddaughter's school transfer. Needing a new home, Xiao Yang, seeing their desperation, wonders if he should raise the price. The poor guy shrinks in fear. Xiang keeps the price, assuring him he won't change it. They sign the contract, and the deal is done. The old man thanks the boy and promises to leave him alone. This upsets our hero. He feels it's a shame innocent people like them won't survive the apocalypse. He stops the old man wanting to help and asks for their address. Next, Xiao Yang returns to the construction site to check his plot. The first payment is done, but the captain needs the second. Our hero promises the money is coming and asks about construction progress. 80% is done. Strong doors and structures are in place for defense. The warehouse is clean and ready. Assured, Xiao Yang tells Zhang Shenge to deliver all goods at once. Soon the goods arrive and are stacked. Xiao Yang pays them 2,000 each. While they celebrate, he helps sort items, ensuring perishables are stored well. By evening, Xiao Yang looks at his great work. He finally stocked 10 years of supplies, earning 20 points. He checks the system store and sees a new box. The system lets him get superpowers before the apocalypse. He spends 10 points on a mystery box, getting Mind's Eye. This power to bad intentions useful for trust. His new task is armed to the teeth, requiring many weapons, just as Xiao Yang planned. That night, Xiao Yang goes to the black market, walks through the crowd, hearing talk about old items. All sorts of bad people are here, including Big Mac arguing over a bracelet's price. Seeing him buy fake bracelets confirms Fatso is a scammer. Qijing can't tell her jewelry is fake. Searching, Xiao Yang finds something interesting. He finds a shop selling melee weapons. Xiao Yang wants the best ones. The owner suggests a knife sharpener or a baton. Says he needs something much tougher. The owner thinks his customer is joking and not serious about buying. To his shock, the kid transfers 200,000 to his account, proving he's serious. Intrigued, the seller asks Xiao Yang to watch his stall while they talk privately. In the storage room, the man shows homemade guns for 2,000 yuan. They're weak. Xiao Yang refuses, needing guns for zombies, not chickens. The seller then shows him a replica revolver for 5,000 yuan. The kid is still serious and unimpressed, especially after paying 200,000 up front. The advance payment shocks the owner. Xiao Yang isn't just buying 200 grand worth, that's only 10%. He spends 2 million on weapons. His huge offer makes the seller wonder about his life. Xiaoyang tells the seller to get to business. The seller decides to show the best items he secures his house, ensuring privacy. He assures Xiaoyang he's in the right place. He can connect him to a supplier for high-quality weapons. The real meeting is in a few days. Leaving the storage, Xiaoyang bumps into Fudgy Pudgy again. Fudgy thinks Xiaoyang sold his things on the black market to get rich. Xiaoyang ignores him, wanting to use this fool to test his new ability. Using Mind's Eye, he sees the seller's good intentions, but for the fat man it's bad. Xiaoyang tells Shuzhang that like his fake bracelets, Qijing is also fake. That one remark makes Shuzhang furious. The seller asks if they know each other. Xiaoyang says to consider him an enemy. The seller, now friends with Xiaoyang, offers to beat up the old man. Leaves happy, while Shuzhang is almost crying. Ruthless men with batons approach him. They push him down and kick him until he's bruised. This makes him hate Xiaoyang even more. He vows revenge. 2 days pass. Our hero gets a truck of weapons, completing his mission. He also gets a bonus. Physical boost potion. It has a multiplier, making it stronger than store-bought ones. Without delay, he loads injection and uses it. Seconds later, he's stronger than an average man. He's at 7 points, a 40% strength increase. Next, he checks the store. It only has a survival kit and a physical boost potion. He chose to boost his strength, injecting the physical potion again. He gained 8 physical points, boosting his power by 60% over average. He grabbed a rod to test. His power kicked it, bending it and cracking the wall. Zombies won't stand a chance. He stored all weapons and crates in his spatial ring. Xiaoyang knew the apocalypse was in 2 days. He needed to finish things, remembering the old man. Despite past betrayals, Xiaoyang wanted to help others. He planned to send their family supplies. After that, they were on their own. Next, Xiaoyang arrived at the old man's home. The place looked run down, making it hard to find. Climbing the stairs, he realized the old man was struggling. Knocking, he decided to get the supplies ready first. His ring brought out supplies. Knocked. The old man, worried about rent, was shocked to see Xiaoyang. The kid brought tons of stuff. He said there was no time to explain. They needed to move the items inside fast. The crates were inside. The old man was impressed by Xiaoyang's stamina. He checked the apartment, finding it well secured. He warned the old man to keep silent. Xiaoyang advised using supplies wisely, as the world would change. He saw a photo of the old man's beautiful granddaughter. To his shock, it was Shan Shan, a friend from the apocalypse. He asked her grandfather to confirm. The old man was surprised. Xiaoyang knew her name. Concerned, Xiaoyang asked where she was. She was studying in her hometown, transferring soon. In the past, she regretted her grandfather's death saving her, as Xiaoyang wouldn't let that happen again. He told the grandfather he couldn't move in. The old man panicked. But Xiaoyang calmed him, explaining the zombie apocalypse starts tomorrow. No place would be safe. He wanted the old man to get his granddaughter from school. Then they'd decide where to go. The old man couldn't grasp it all at once. Xiaoyang had to make him understand. He described it like a famine, with widespread starvation. Xiaoyang showed his power by sucking furniture and crates into his ring. Shanshan's grandfather was speechless. Xiaoyang explained his powers and future sight, urging them to go to Shanshan's school for safety. Next, they rushed to the school in the car. Arriving, Xiaoyang asked for her dorm. They quickly searched for her. Shanshan was being slapped by a jealous woman over a guy who liked her. Shan tried to explain she wasn't involved but was hit for making excuses. They tormented Shanshan for acting calm before their crush. Luckily, Shanshan's grandpa rushed to find her. The old man demanded the woman let her go. Then high schoolers arrived, threatening the old man for interfering. For his granddaughter, the old man rushed to face the 3 men. One guy was about to hit him with a bat. Before the hit, Xiaoyang grabbed his arm. He mocked the guy for acting tough, calling them just high schoolers. The idiots mocked. Xiaoyang kicked the first guy so hard his hair turned blonde. One kick dropped him. The others wondered if they faced a pro. They try to surround him, but he welcomes it. A man with a club tries to hit him from behind, but Xiaoyang easily ducks. With boosted strength, his reflexes are much faster. He grabs the collar, slams him down, and knocks him out. The leader tries to sneak up and stab him. Xiaoyang uses his fist, then brutally kicks him in the thigh. A kick there from a pro causes extreme pain. Xiaoyang successfully put these guys to sleep. Next, he approaches the girl who messed with Shan Shan. A slap reminds her he believes in equal rights. The girl sees stars for a moment. He then grabs the other girl's hair to show her how it feels. He puts a blade to her neck, making her cry in fear. Then a sharp swing cuts and the woman screams. It looks like he killed her. Shanshan's reaction makes it seem so. No, he just gave her a haircut. Like when a barber cuts more than you ask. She screams, vowing never to forgive him, but he doesn't care, acting like he helped her. He tells her she'll understand soon. For now, he tells Shan Shan they're leaving. She doesn't know where, but she follows. They drive to a new place. Grandpa explains a famine apocalypse is coming. Shan thinks he fell for another scam. He assures her it's not a scam. Xiaoyang is happy to see her joyful and signals. He told her grandpa everything. This Shan Shan doesn't know him. He introduces himself again. She thanks him for helping with bullies. but Xiaoyang knows they won't survive long. The girl doesn't understand. Xiaoyang called it a famine for her grandpa, giving her hope. He then called it an apocalypse, crushing her news. Shows things worsening. Shan checks her phone, seeing videos of rabies-like infections. Her fear grows. Xiaoyang realizes the apocalypse is starting. Shan learns toxic smog will spread across provinces tomorrow. This smog will change living things. Many will become zombies at once. Then they'll feed on those not affected. Killed, the uninfected become undead, growing their numbers. He's glad Shan knows about zombies, but the situation is too much for her. He thinks she'll understand when the world falls into chaos in a week, but now they face traffic. Xiaoyang is surprised the emergency lane is blocked too. Roads are packed. Shan fears zombies will find them. Xiang assures her the apocalypse hasn't fully begun. Even if the main event is later, a small outbreak here is likely. A driver dangerously rams through traffic. He slams into their car. Boy gets angry and fights back. He tries to stop the driver from entering the emergency lane. The guy stops next to his car and curses Xiaoyang. Grandpa sees it's a rich guy and suggests letting it go, but our boy won't, ready to kill him if he causes trouble. Traffic clears after an hour. Shan warns him about the same driver speeding to cut them off. Even Xiaoyang is shocked by his stubbornness. The man cuts in front to mock them. Shan's grandpa thinks this is unsafe. They shouldn't act like him. Xiang doesn't care about such people, knowing the apocalypse will erase his crimes. 406, 47, 408, he rams the car, making it crash. Rich guys, the police, to arrest Xiaoyang. He never lets anyone go after they wrong him. Next, our heroes return to Xiaoyang's facility. Even Shannon's grandpa is shocked they'll live here. He assures them life changes tomorrow, so they should rest. 4:15 the next day, he sunbathes and sees Shan. She slept well after long classes. Young is excited to show her his fortress. 4:17, he shows her the concrete walls and strong remote gate. He sets a rule. No one enters without his permission. Shan worries about survivors, thinking Xiaoyang will let them die. 4:20, to answer her, he shows them another spot, explaining how people change in an apocalypse. Due to humanity's dark side, they must be careful. Kindness can lead to death. He built a buffer zone for survivors, a temporary shelter for when he's gone. Xiaoyang warns them again. No one enters the main fortress. With that said, he takes them to food storage, explaining how to manage food. 4:25, inside the warehouse, he turns for a final check. Using his insight, he checks their intentions. Both show clear trust, making him happy to find good people. Next, Xiaoyang creates weapons, saying they are key to survival. Grandpa gets a shotgun, Shan a strong crossbow. They must ensure these weapons don't fall into others' hands. It's time for the system task. Xiaoyang must find his old friend Zhangqi from the past. His location is unknown. No worries. The system shows his friend's city. He leaves Shan and her grandpa in charge, reminding them of the rules. He leaves to recruit another member for the fortress team before the apocalypse. The scene shifts to a KTV studio. Friends hang out, enjoying karaoke. They take a bathroom break. Zhangqi bumps into a girl and apologizes. 4:41, her boyfriend ignores them. Kick Zhangqi, sending him flying. His friend checks on him after he falls. 4:44, Nerd Eye stands up to the bully, who hit his friend, making him angrier. He grabs Zhangqi's friend. Zhangqi begs for mercy, hoping his friend is spared. A waiter watches the fight. He's already sick, and now this. He quickly tries to stop the fight. 4:40, the rich guy grabs the waiter. The waiter tells the kids to run. Zhangqi and his friend escape. They return to their karaoke room, escaping trouble. The others are shocked why they ran. Captain Glasses explains they met thugs and got beaten. The waiter saved them. 4:55, the other two get angry, wanting to fight the guy. Zhangqi calms them, saying it's pointless. Things only get worse. The waiter was badly beaten. The rich thug brought 3 friends to attack Zhangqi's group. The thug ordered his men to grab them. Zhangqi and the other guy quickly ducked, unable to fight. Only one guy dared to speak up. Thug leader smashed a bottle on his head. Chen Chong was left with a bloody head. Our boy stopped his car outside the bar. Zhangqi is here down bleeding. He needs an ER fast. The thug's girl wanted revenge for the bump. They turned to Zhangqi, ready to beat him. Chen Chong suddenly attacked the thug leader. Another guy stopped him from hitting his face. The thug leader, surprised by the college kid's courage, smashed another bottle on his head. Chen Chong fell again. His friends cried out. Seeing him fall angered Zhangqi, who tried to act, but they were quickly held back. The last group member trembled like a puppy. The waiter fought to stay conscious as thugs beat Zhangqi's group. His punch missed. He didn't hit anyone. The waiters, with bloodshot eyes, he attacked like a wild animal. He bit a man's shoulder, shocking everyone. The thugs didn't know why the waiter suddenly went mad. They tried to hold him, but his strength was too much. The waiter bit another man's arm. He became animal, overpowering the thug and knocking him down. To everyone's shock, our boy easily handled the wild waiter. He told everyone to stop. The thugs were amazed. The waiter had beaten them, but one kid pinned him easily. The thug leader asked Xiaoyang's name. Xiaoyang ignored him, asking Zhang Yi about bite mark. He had no bites, but Zhang Qi found the question strange. Our boy told him to follow quickly. They had to go, but the thug leader stopped them. Not finished. One henchman got a strange headache after a bite. Our boy knew what was happening. The infection was worsening. Xiaoyang asked if the waiter bit his shoulder. The lackey confirmed it, but didn't understand why. Our boy realized the man was already infected. A headbite meant it was over. Xiaoyang dragged the waiter to the restroom and slammed the door. The beast hit the door but couldn't open it. He then turned to the thugs. Our boy got ready to fight, asking Zhang Qi who to hit first. Zhang Qi didn't know him and was confused. Angry, the thug leader tried to punch. Xiaoyang grabbed face and slammed his head to the ground. The infected lackey attacked, but was knocked down with one hit. Friend wondered why a punch was so strong. The lackey writhed in. Xiaoyang told them they'd learn not to mess with him. He told Zhang Qi to take his friends to the private room and wait. The guy didn't fight, just helped his friend leave. The thug leader and his men stopped fighting, knowing they couldn't win. But Xiaoyang wouldn't let them leave after what they did. He called the thug a drunk who almost killed his brother. To teach him a lesson, he shoved the thug down and locked them inside. The thug leader slams the door, but it's locked from outside. His own lackey turned zombie and attacked him. A gruesome end. Xiaoyang heard their screams as they were eaten alive. A staff member checked the noise. Xiaoyang told him to lock the door and call police about a dangerous infected patient. The staff member was startled, but our boy yelled at him to do it. He quickly locked it with a key. Our boy helped Youngie's friends leave. Staff heard the noise, wondering what was happening inside. They heard a rabid flu patient was inside, but no one knew for sure. Hearing about the flu, they rushed to check the cameras. At the surveillance room, they saw something disgusting and horrifying. Everyone became man-eating monsters, tearing each other apart. Staff called the police at once. Our boy and friends escaped the karaoke bar, helped them into the car, and they drove off. Zhang Qi was grateful but didn't know him. Xiaoxing introduced himself, saying he was hired to protect them by a secret client. Someone asked about the rabid flu patient, saying it's not online. Xiaoyang pointed to the room, asking if that was fake too. Nerd Eyes asked about a cure. Our boy knew there was no cure. Things would only worsen, and the world would fall into chaos. Zombies had already started attacking people. The infection spread fast, but for now it was a local outbreak. Most infected were dormant, soon to awaken. Chaos would grow, so Zhangyi and friends must follow his orders. They all agreed to follow him. Then, he got a mission-complete message. He gained access to 2 store items, including useful supplies. The most interesting was a cultivator box. All 3 boxes looked promising, so he planned to get them at the fortress. He also needed to earn their trust. In the past, Youngchi's friends died because one betrayed them. That traitor is among these 3 friends. It's like a game to find the traitor. Let's check on Qi Jing. She was terrified to go to the supermarket due to the news, wanting supplies delivered at once. To her horror, someone knocked hard on her door. Qing panicked and hung up on Xu Zhang. She peeked and felt relieved. It was just her best friend who scared her. Her friend said police took their first-floor neighbor away in an ambulance. He seemed infected, explaining the building's chaos. She asked Qi Jing about the promised supplies. They hadn't arrived yet. She decided to trick Shuang, telling him Xiaoyong had many supplies. Qi Jing wondered how her friend knew. Her friend had spied on him, learning he ordered lots of supplies. Qi Jing couldn't believe her ex knew about the apocalypse. Her friend convinced her to tell Xu Shang so they could steal Xiaoyang's supplies and get rich. They had no morals. Zhang Qi returned to his fortress, stunned by what he saw. He couldn't imagine anyone building such a fortress. Xiaoyang happily explained it's a normal reaction. Shanhen and her grandpa were glad he was home. He told them not to worry, things were fine. He introduced his new friends, Zhang Qi and his group. These guys will join them. He also introduced Shanshan and her grandpa. They accepted them, chosen by Xiaoyang. She told her grandpa to show them around and explain the rules. A group member asked for weapons for protection. This guy was already a suspect to Xiaoyang, who knew Zhangyi's group had a mole. Nerd Eyes told Ying to calm down, saying asking for weapons was risky without trust. Xiaoyang promised weapons soon, but first they needed to heal Chen Chong. 5-7, inside the fortress. They clean up and change. Ying is mad his friend interfered, thinking they'd have weapons by now. He thinks they're prisoners, not protected. 580-581. Nerd Eyes argues that Xiaoyang saved them. They wonder about his past, only knowing a client hired him. Ying is angry they aren't treating Chen Chong due to infection fears. The kid thinks Xiaoyang's group wants their organs. They must act first to stop it. Nerd Eyes warns him they'd betray Xiaoyang if wrong. Ying doesn't care. He wants control of the fortress. He plans to get rid of the girl and old man while Xiaoyang is gone. 586-587. Zhang Qi and his friends stare in shock. Ying quickly says he was joking. Four Eyes reminds him Xiao Yang wouldn't let them roam if he wanted their organs. Yiming plans to take the fortress, believing ruthlessness will help him. 590 Shu meets Shanshan and her grandpa. They say Chen Chong is resting and everything is locked as he asked. 592 he thanks them, tells them to rest, and warns them of future problems. He also warns them about Zhongyi's two friends suspecting betrayal. That night he goes to the warehouse. He checks his system store again. He opens the cultivator box. He buys sugar, oil, protein, and the armed deterrence box. Buying all three gives him 50 corn seeds, much food, and 1,500 ammo rounds. The rewards are great. This haul gives him a huge edge in the apocalypse. The next day, trouble returns. The rich man who swore revenge arrives with friends to attack. He orders his men to smash the gate. They can't even dent the thick gate. Despite trying hard, the boss is furious, shocked by the strong door. 605, 606, they use Molotovs, throwing them inside. Flames quickly cause chaos. Molotovs fall inside. Shanshan and others try to put out the fire. This makes her believe Xiao Yang's prediction of more chaos. He doesn't back down. He brought a rifle for anyone in his way. He goes to the watchtower to see who's attacking. 613, Shanshan's grandpa sees it's the rich man. From the highway, his men spot them too. The snob yells for Xiang to come out or he'll burn the place. Xiang calmly warns them they have 5 minutes to leave. His reply angers the men. They threaten to burn the fortress with 2 crates of Molotovs. Suddenly, the system gives him a new mission. Grandpa jests a warning shot. The mission is to stop the attack. 620, he thinks a warning shot won't work on criminals with no morals. He aims knowing he can't let them threaten lives. 622, 63, 634, Xiang fires. Hitting a man's arm, he screams at pain. Xiao Yong, the head but needs practice. 626, taking off the arm stops the threat. They run, despite starting the fight. Xiaoyang knows they'll return tomorrow. He shoots them all without mercy. 629, the few survivors help their boss into the car. He yells the driver to go. This character is smart like John Wick. 631, they try to escape by car, but Xiaoyang shoots them with his rifle. 633, his skill with the gun makes the old man wonder about his past. Bad end for these guys. Their car is wrecked. They're all dead. They met their fate. Xiaoyang tells Shanshan's grandpa to have the group clean up. Then a thought struck him. With the apocalypse starting, he decides to leave the bodies. They can be zombie training dummies later. So he stops the cleanup. Our boy doesn't know Shuang is coming with Kui, Jing and her friend. Qi Jing is annoyed by her friend flirting with the fat man. They reach the site. Qi Jing wants her friend to come, but she hesitates. Her friend must guide them to Xiaoyang's factory. Qi Jing drags her out by force, ignoring her complaints. The girls walk up. Shuang signals his team to get ready. Once signaled, he'll start the car, and his team will join. The friend asks why she was dragged along. Qi Jing reminds her they are alike, so she's wary. The friend says she acts this way to manipulate Xiao Yang. They see many dead bodies. Clearly there was a shootout. Terrified, they want to leave. But they realize this group was after Xiang's supplies. They wonder if Xiao Yang died. They only care about his supplies. They think of going back for Shuzhong, but Qi suggests sneaking in. The girls reach the thick, shut gate. They can't get in. They wonder if Xiaozhong survived. From the tower, Shanshan questions their intentions. They pretended to be our boy's friends. Shanshan tells Xiaoyang, making Qi Jing mad, thinking he has a new girl. Her friend warns her not to show feelings with armed people around. Qi Jing trusts Shuang's guns. The door is the only problem. Xiaoyang comes to see Qi Jing and Wen Shuya. He uses his insight to check their intentions. They act cute, but he senses distrust and bad intentions. They pretend to worry, but he laughs. He reveals he knows Shuang and his men are hiding nearby. Both women are shocked he knew. Qi Jing and Wen. Shuya can't believe he'd go so far. The friend stays calm, telling Qi Jing to do the same. They face a man with a gun. Our boy doesn't want to kill them yet. That would be too easy. Suddenly, a dead body turns into a zombie. Others are turning too. The flu from the news is bringing the dead back. Our boy is satisfied, wanting them to die by zombies. Qi Jing and Wen Shuya run to escape. They head back to Shuang, who is unaware. Then he sees a zombie chasing them. The women cry, begging the fat man for help. Xu Jiang didn't expect infected here. He changes plans, telling his men to retreat. He leads the women. Qi Jing, furious, she throws her purse at her friend, making her trip and fall. Helpless, the Zombianskis quickly tear her apart and eat her. As she's torn apart, Shuya curses Qi Jing, vowing she'll die horribly. The crazy one escapes, thinking she did right. Xiaoyang gets points for ending a threat. Shanshan watches in horror. He also gets a mission to kill base zombies. Shan can't believe the infection brings the dead back. The apocalypse has begun. Xiaoyang says mutations will spread, and infected people will become zombies even after death. He calls an urgent meeting to update his team. They discuss next steps. Xiaoyang tells everyone to be alert and lock down. They must adapt to the infection to avoid mutation. Still, Zhangqi worries for his injured friend. Chen Sheng rests in the infirmary. His infection is slowly taking over. The city burns. Chaos rages outside, destroying the world. Young Shinga tells his family to stay home. He's going to the warehouse for supplies. He warns them not to open the door, but someone is already banging on the door. He signals his family to be quiet. He grabs golf club, ready to hit any infected at the door. He sees it's Yongdao and relaxes. That was his big mistake. Yongdao brought friends to beat his boss. They kick him down. He demands to be freed. The boss was kind to Yongdao for years, but his own man betrayed him. Yongdao reminds his boss he was treated badly, not nicely. Zhang Shanji recalls paying for Yongdao's house. Yongdao isn't grateful. He says the boss is rich. He's here for the warehouse keys to steal supplies. The boss refuses. Yongdao attacks his family, dragging wife. Their son yells at him for hurting his mom. The kid Yongdao slaps. Zhang Shenji wars. Seeing his wife and child hurt, Yongdao, being evil, promises not to hurt them if the boss cooperates. They take him to the warehouse. Yongdao is mad there's nothing left. The boss says Xiaoyang bought everything, even old food. Xiaoyang's name makes Yongdao think stealing his supplies would give them 10 years of food. The boss thinks it's a bad idea. He knows Xiaoyang is tough. He suspects Xiaoyang knew about the apocalypse early and prepared. Yongdao makes his boss do it. Zhang Shenki doesn't understand until his family is threatened. If he fails, his wife and child will suffer. It's a sad situation for him. At the fortress, Zhangyi's friend is not well. He's become an animal, losing all reason. The group despairs. Seeing their friend in such a state, Yiming suggests they get rid of him. Xiaoyang is suspicious of Yiming's words. Zhangyi can't believe what Yiming said. Yiming is serious. He believes an infected person already dead shouldn't live. If he escapes, he'll harm others. His words are true. Xiaoyang agrees there's no cure, no way to save their friend. To test Yiming, our boy offers him a blade. Yiming is startled, then realizes Xiang wants him to kill his friend. Yiming shivers. Our boy urges him, saying he wanted a weapon. It's time to say goodbye. Zhang Qi interrupts, taking the blade from them. He understands the burden and volunteers for the task. Our boy warns him. Doing this will make him a murderer. It's serious, but Zhang Qi trusts Xiaoyang's words. He's ready to do it. Seeing his confidence, he lets Zhang Qi proceed. Next, he loads the blade, ready to slash his face. But Xiaoyang stops him at the last second. They agreed, but he suddenly changed his mind. Chen Shang's condition is special. Xiaoyang won't kill him. He still has a use. The system alerted him to a rare mutation. Alone, our boy checks his state. Chen Shang is a savage beast now. Xiaoyang is fearless. He tells Chen Shang he has one last job. The next day, a car crashes into a pole. It's the boss having bad luck, unable to drive well. He's near the fortress, so he can walk, but an ugly zombie attacks him. The boss gets bitten on his arm. He shoves the beast, runs to his car, and grabs a pipe. He smashes the zombie's head. He keeps smashing its head until it's a bloody mess. He wasted time on one zombie, others are closing in. Weakened, he walks towards the fortress. His crew ready, armed to kill zombies near the base. Shan struggles with protective gear. It's uncomfortable but needed. Xiaoyang says zombies are strong and new fighters might get overwhelmed. They can take it off later. Outside, they target one zombie. Xiaoyang tells his team to get ready to strike. The zombie sees them and attacks. Xiaoyang reminds his team to cover each other and keep distance. He dodges the zombie, showing them how to strike its temples and neck. The neck is its weak spot. Fori bravely smashes his weapon into the zombie's face. His blade doesn't cut, he hurts himself. Xiaoyang says hitting the skull is useless and gives the zombie a chance to attack. The creature attacks him as he shakes in fear. Xiaoyang is impressed by his defense. Zhang Qi targets the monster's neck, hitting its weak spot. This opens it up for the team to attack. He stresses hitting it many. Zhang Qi asks how they're doing, but a zombie attacks him from behind, making Zhang Qi shout. The beast almost bites him, but Xiaoyang grabs its head without fear. He uses this to teach them to watch their surroundings. Everyone is amazed by his fast reflexes and quick thinking. Let's check on the boss. The boss regrets his choices, seeing vehicles outside the fortress. He wonders if Xiaoyang is dead. He suddenly hears people talking. He knows Xiang's voice and moves closer to see. Spying from a car, he can't believe it. Xiaoyang's team easily hunts zombies. Shuya's zombie corpse grabs his leg from under the car. This zombie won't die. She makes him trip and fall. Defenseless, the boss prepares as the zombie rushes to attack him. Just as she attacks, her head explodes. Xiaozhen arrives just in time to save him. The boss shoves the headless body. Xiaoyang asks why he's here. The boss explains, but Xiaoyang sees his infected bite. He points the gun at his head, saying he's already lost. The boss begs him to listen before shooting. Xia agrees, but keeps his distance. The boss knows he's turning, but wants to save his family. He says Yang Tao holds his family hostage for supplies. Yang Shenjie has done bad things, but nothing like what Yang Ta is doing. His family is innocent, but Yang Dao won't spare them. He begs Xiaoyang to save his family. The protagonist is conflicted. Zhang Shena is selfish, but he helped with supplies. His team is good, but the male-female ratio is off. Xiaoyang thinks changes could be made. He's happy to get a mission to protect the boss's family for 25 points. His other mission is to kill all undead outside his base. Xiaoyang agrees to protect the boss's family. Hearing this, the affected Yang Shenhe falls, grateful for his help. The boss knows he'll turn soon and doesn't want to die human. Xiaoyang tells Shanshan to get a bike. She doesn't understand but goes. He tells the boss to isolate himself where no one can reach him. The boss accepts and thanks him again. Next, Zhang Shengji races off on his bike. He's turning into an infected. Last thoughts are of his family. With him gone, Shanshan looks at the pilot's dead zombies. He pours gasoline on the bodies and burns them. The team finished their training. Xiaoyang's team can handle single zombies, but not hordes. Need time to adapt. Xiang tells them to follow. Next, they find another storage room. He leaves the old geyser to guard the weapon room tonight as he's going to the city. Sean's grandpa worries about him going to the ruined city. Jiangxi and Four Eyes offer to go along. He refuses, saying it's too dangerous for them. They must protect the fortress instead. Minutes later, he's in his car, weapons ready for the hunt. The store is empty. Refreshing items takes time. He spends points to refresh everything. New loot boxes appear. Black tech, life-saving and armed. Threat, each refresh doubles the cost. Xiaoyang decides to spend all his points on these new crates. He buys only the black tech box, leaving 6 points. He opens the box and finds a physical enhancement potion, increasing his stats by 5 points. It's a much bigger boost than before. Xiaoyang injects the potion, gaining superhuman strength. He feels stronger than ever. His destination is the boss's house. His wife and child tremble in fear, hoping Zhang Shenjia will fix things. Yang Tao and his goons enter. Helpless lady asks what they'll do. The man forces himself on her, saying they'll enjoy her while her husband is away. The woman tries to fight them off, begging them to stop. Thugs tear Shioli's clothes. Her son struggles to push one away. Just then Lee, the guy with the ponytail, arrives asking about the noise. A goon says they'll have fun and invites Lee. Lee says the job isn't done. They need to focus. The goon gets annoyed, asking why it's a problem now, as they've done this often. Lee gets angry. He reminds the goon they're messing with Zhang Shenjia's family. If she kills herself, Jiang Xing will lose everything and hunt them all down. Lee promises they can return for her after her husband is dealt with. The goon calls Lee a party pooper but takes his advice. The goon leave. One gives her a creepy look, telling her to wait. The mother and son are left helpless, crying. At night, zombies roam the streets. He drives through empty roads, thinking about his gains. With 13 stamina, he's twice as strong. With better reactions and control, he speeds through cluttered streets, drifting around corners, feeling the adrenaline. The area is full of zombies, so he gets out of the car. The city center is ahead. Driving would attract too many, so he walks. He hears roars. He turns to see 2 zombies charging. He's not scared. He dodges then, throws one zombie, knocking over another. He quickly summons his sword and charges again. Swing decapitates both zombies. They are just punching bags for his new strength. He's amazed at his power. He's clearly more than twice as strong as a normal person. His instincts are sharper. Enhanced hearing tells him his target is 800 away. Zombies bang their heads against a grocery store window. Inside, survivors fortify the gate with heavy objects, hoping to buy time to escape. Brad asks his father if they'll die. His father reassures him, saying the monsters can't get in. Even if they do, they'll see his mother again. The father's words don't help. The boy cries louder. The officer is annoyed by the father's thoughtless words. The father retorts, "If I thought before speaking, I'd be a property manager." Even the officer starts to fear they might die here. As tension rises, gunshots ring out. A zombie's head explodes. The boy falls. In shock, the father is confused. The officer tells them to move the heavy things. To see outside, he warns them to be quiet. They peek through the gate. All nearby zombies are gone. They step out carefully. The boy shouts about a mutant. The father asks what he means. The son explains it's a stronger, faster zombie like in games. The father is annoyed. He asks why his son talks about games during danger. He blames it for his son's bad grades. The officer tells the father to stop arguing. He asks why grades matter now. He tells them to hurry and watch for the mutant. Old Song is the father's name. As they move, the officer warns them to stay alert for the base. They stop at a fork in the path. The father sees a boy across the street. Our hero, busy with his system, adding points. The boy shouts, "It's a mutant zombie." The officer, thinking clearly, sees the guy as a survivor, not a zombie. Our hero notices them. He laughs at the boy for calling him a mutant. He tells him to calm down. The officer feels relief. It's a survivor. The officer approaches, saying it's too dangerous alone. He asks him to join their group to survive. Jangs asks who they are and why they're here. The officer explains they seek supplies. Many civilians are at Rongyang Garden. Zhang remembers Junyu Mansion is nearby. Old Song agrees it's just across the street. He tells Zhang to come. There's strength in numbers. Officer Lee has a gun. We can protect you. They don't know our hero's power. He humbly agrees without boasting. They move forward carefully. Old Song asks Zhang why he wants to go to Junyu Mansion. If he's looking for someone, Zhang says yes. Old Song asks if it's family or a girlfriend. Old Song warns him it's the end of the world. Whoever he seeks is likely dead. He should prepare for that. Sir agrees. If not killed by raiders, they could have met those beasts. Jang hears beasts and asks what they are. Officer Lee says thugs are in Buyu Mountain Villa. They hurt survivors. His group lost many to them. He stops talking about it. He reminds them to be careful around other survivors. Suddenly the boy shouts, "Officer, be careful!" The officer turns and sees a zombie attacking him. The officer quickly shoots it down. Officer Lee pants, heart racing. He thought he was dead. The gunshots attract zombies. The officer panics. He spots an abandoned bus. Everyone runs to the bus. Jang grins, thinking it's a good defense, though risky, if it fails. He rates the plan 70. Everyone is on the bus. Officer Lee tells him to hurry. Jang jumps in. Officer Lee slams the door. He warns them to check for raiders. Boy shouts zombies are still outside. Officer Lee grits his teeth, knowing zombies are close behind. Zombies bang on the bus trying to get in. More zombies arrive each second. The officer struggles to hold the gate, but it's too much. Jang slams the door shut, the zombies back and sealing it. Officer Lee is shocked by Jang's strength. Jang says he'll hold the door. He suggests they break windows and fight. The officer agrees, trusting Zhang Xiaoyang. They break the windows. Old Song hits zombies clinging to the bus. Help him stay safe. Officer Lee saves his few bullets for emergencies. Zhang Xiaoyang pulls out a crossbow and tells Officer Lee to use it. The officer is confused how Jang got the crossbow. Jang says he just picked it up. Old Song and Officer Lee join the fight using the crossbow and their strength to clear zombies. They defeat all zombies. Finally, they leave the bus. The brat feels confident. He thinks they made things safe and are special in this apocalypse. My guy tells everyone to stay careful and avoid past mistakes. At the fort, everyone hopes things go well for Zhang Xiaoyang. Lu Yiming decides to keep watch tonight. The glasses guy asks why he's so eager. Lu Yiming, annoyed, tells him to stop. He says he's always been serious. The fatty is humbled. He asks why Lu Yiming is upset over a joke. Uncle Shang sees Lu Yiming taking charge. He tells others to rest using Yiming's help. He tells Lu Ying to wake everyone, if needed. As night falls, Lu Yiming waits. Everyone must be asleep. He plans to finish his goal before our boy returns. The old man sleeps soundly, weapon room key by his pillow. The old man doesn't notice Lu Ying quietly entering. Lu Ying reaches for the key. Old man wakes up more alert than expected. He asks what Lu Ying is doing. Lu Yiming punches him before he can say more. Lu Yiming grabs the key and runs. The old man shouts, demanding it back. The noise wakes others. The old man tells everyone Lu Yiming took the weapon room key. They chase him, but he throws things to block their path. His pursuers stop. They could jump the obstacles, but don't. Lu Yiming sees the nursery room. He decides to go all the way. He enters the room, where Chen Chong the zombie is strapped to a bed. As he nears, the zombie attacks with a free hand. Lu Yiming is surprised. The other hand should be tied. He wonders if the straps are too loose. This makes him happy. He doesn't need to untie the zombie. The others get past the obstacles. What they find in the hall is bad. They're mad that Lu Yiming let Chen Chong out of the infirmary. The old man regrets not seeing Lu Yiming's true nature. Shan Shan says no time for regrets. They must act. Their weapons are locked. First, they need to get the zombie back in the infirmary. Uncle Shang uses Zhang Xia's method. Be careful, don't get bitten. They approach the zombie. Zhang Qi grabs its neck. Others hold its hands. The old man points to the infirmary, telling them to drag the zombie back. On 3, they push the infirmary, and lock the door tight. With the zombie locked, one wonders if it was too easy. Others agree. The old man reminds them they wasted time. The brat must have the weapons now. Just then, Lu Yiming appears, asking why the old man called him a brat. He now has a gun. He's annoyed there was only one weapon, but thinks it's enough. He'll find more later. Lu Yiming points the gun, telling them to go back. Zhang Qi tries to reason, reminding him Zhang Xiaoyang saved them. Lu Yiming says our boy acts superior. Saving them doesn't mean they serve him forever. The old man calls him an ungrateful fool. 1006. In the infirmary, Chen Chong has a plan and is about to step into the argument. 1008, 1009. Before anything happens, Officer Lee guides our hero to Jinyu Mansion from Rongxiang Garden. He warns that the complex area hides many zombies, so be careful. Officer Lee tells Zhang to return to Rongxiang Garden after finding his people. He advises using the side gate for safety. 1012, Zhang thanks him and leaves. Old wants to help Zhang, but Officer Lee warns that Jinyu Mansion could be full of zombies, killing them all. Zerosong asks why they let Zhang face certain death. Officer Lee says he warned Zhang all he could, now he just pities him. But he adds that Zhang is clearly skilled. Outside zombies fill the area. Inside, the thugs holding Zhang Zhen's family, Zhang Shan hasn't returned. Another thug doesn't care. He says he's held back long enough and will take it out on his wife tonight. These fools wait for a dead man. One thinks Zhang is dead. Another thug says they'll tie her up to prevent suicide. They decide to make the most of their time. The lady trembles, hearing Thug's plans. Ponytail lets his friends go, but warns them to be careful and not harm the woman, especially not sexually. Ponytail suddenly sees something strange outside. Outside, all zombies are dead. The thug doesn't know why, but we do. 10:23, Ponytail looks outside, thinking it might be a rescue team. 10:25, 10:26, 10:27. As he steps outside, a dagger cuts his throat. His head rolls, ending his life. Inside, the other thugs are ready for their prize. Thrilled, they undo their belts. 10:31, they pull her son away and slap her for yelling. 10:33, they throw the kid aside, but he bravely tries to fight back. 10:35, they kick him out, slam the door, and leave the kid outside. 57. Ponytail's headless body falls, shocking the kid. Even more stunning is the silhouette in the doorway. 10:40, it's Zhang Xiaowang. He asks the kid if Sheng is his father. The boy stutters a reply. Inside, thugs tear the woman's clothes as she struggles to cover herself. A smug thug slaps her, demanding she scream as they harass her. The woman stays silent, not wanting her son to hear. The thug decides to attack her, then let his friends have turns. Before he acts, the door slams open. A thug thinks the kid kicked it. 10:4, he reacts. His head is sliced off. His friend, confused, tells him to kick the kid out. 10:48, 10:49, 10:50. His friend doesn't know the guy is headless and falls. The others are confused. Zhang Xiaoyang grabs a thug and slams him against the wall. The thug, undoing his belt, stutters, asking Zhang's name. Zhang doesn't answer. Instead, he kicks the thug's face, knocking him out for good. Back at the fort, Lai Yuming holds a gun to everyone. He warns them to move or he'll shoot. 10:55, 10:56. The old man tells them to obey Lai Yuming and move. Shinshan refuses. The old man insists, promising a plan later. Li Yuming smirks, saying there's no plan. He threatens to show his ruthlessness and targets the old man first. 10:58. Two others try to talk him out of it, but then they hear a sound. 10:60, 10:61. Suddenly, the infirmary door lock moves, then swings open. Everyone is shocked to see Chen Chong, who used a key to escape. They find it absurd. Chen Chong unlocked the door himself while berserk. 64, 10:65. Chen Chong clearly wants to fight Liu Ming, glaring at him, points his gun, vowing not to let this monster live. 10:67. He pulls the trigger, but the gun jams. He realizes he's in trouble. 69. Before he can react, the monster attacks, tearing him apart and killing the man who caused so much trouble. 10:71, Chen Chong kills Liu Ming and drags his body to the infirmary. No one knows what's happening. They just watch, shocked. Chen Chong grabs the infirmary key, throws it, and locks himself in, leaving everyone confused. Zhang Xiaoyang finishes off the thugs and frees the wife. He calls the kid. The mother holds her son, asking Zhang's plan. Just tells the kid to come. The kid trusts him, telling his mother it's okay. Reaches Zhang, who gives him a dagger and tells him to kill the men. The thugs realize their fate and beg for their lives. Even the mother protests, saying he's a child. Zhang says he's no longer a kid. Things change now. He must protect his mother. He needs courage to kill those who hurt her. The thug's cruel smiles flash in the boy's mind. Full of anger and courage, he charges, kills them, and avenges his mother. The mother watches, horrified. The kid is angry. He knows his father won't return, even after killing them. Grief-stricken, he asks Zhang if his father is dead. Zhang sadly says yes. Overwhelmed, the boy throws the bloody knife down. He rushes to his mother, hugging her tight for comfort. The mother begs Zhang to take her son, offering anything. But the boy wants to stay and protect her. Zhang invites them both. He promised Zhang Shena he'd keep them safe. Assured, the mother and son follow Zhang past dead thugs. The kid is scared of the bodies and the killer. Zhang calmly says he killed them. The kid is Shui. Mother is Xiaoli. Zhang signals them to stop. Hears sirp sounds. He asks Xiaoli about Building 8 in Banyan Garden. She says it's straight ahead and asks why. At Building 8, looters demand supplies. They promise to spare residents if they comply. Inside, the team hides, debating whether to surrender. Officer Lee rejects it. He says looters are animals, will kill all but women. Thugs outside shout, giving 10 minutes to comply or die. One woman wants to beg the looters. Another refuses to be their toy. The gorilla silences them, saying they won't surrender. He tells them to guard the hall, sure looters can't pass. The looter leader smirks, thinking they're well armed. His lackey knows they can't force entry. The survivor leader is armed and hidden. The leader smiles, saying they don't need to force entry. He orders men to cut water to first-floor apartments, then waits. As thugs plot, Zhang Xiang watches. Shui innocently asks if they're bad. Zhang says yes. Shui just killed men and still act childish to remind his Shui's fate. These are like those who bullied his mother, so they must be stopped. Officer Lee tells everyone to guard stairs and hide. He'll check downstairs. Officer Lee peeks out the window, sees 7 armed men, 3 with guns. Then a loud bang startles Officer Lee. The group is confused, unsure what's happening. Zhang Xiaoyang's bullets hit them. One man falls. The others don't know who attacked. Officer Lee spots Zhang Xiaoyang, gun in hand, moving forward. He opens fire. One goon takes a headshot. They spot him in their midst and shoot back with pistols. Zhang walks forward unfazed. No bullets hit him. He smirks at the amateurs. He aims at the boss behind a block, but his bullets hit the block. The frustrated boss yells at his men to fire while he's shooting. The lackey stands ready to fight. Zhang quickly aims, fire, and blows his head off. The squad leader sneers from cover, sure Zhang is out of bullets. Confident, he aims at Zhang. Zhang Xiaoyang stares back, standing tall. The thug fires, but Zhang dodges the shot fast. Zhang grabs the thug's gun arm, then aims the weapon at his neck. Zhang fires without a thought, shooting the man in the head. The whole squad is down. Zhang searches the dead leader's body for items. He enters the building, finding more thugs from the squad. The thugs attack him, but Zhang doesn't react. He stands still. 3 quick, precise shots drop the thugs. Shui watches, thrilled and impressed by Zhang's fighting skill. A system task appears. Recruit Rongjiang survivors for reward. Asks about them. Officer Lee says they're from Baquishian villas south of the city. Officer Lee calls Liu Cha and Chenji. Tell him to brief Brother Yang, as they came from the south. The men say a well-armed gang holds Baquishian villas, taking all southern survivors. Zhang pauses, recalling his past. He wonders if Baquishan is where Li Shuxian and Qi Jing's groups were, and if they took over. He asks if Baquishan is the only settlement left in the south. The man says the armed gang took over, killing half and abducting women. Zhang knows who is behind this. Officer Lee asks what he means. Zhang says the 3 thugs had handguns. He tells them to keep the guns and check for mags, as there are likely more. He gives Officer Lee his rifle and 5 magazines. Hong says the big Quishian crew won't forget this. With these weapons, 10 men are no problem. He tells them to hold out for days while he reorganizes. Then he'll return for that crew. A man asks if Zhang will fight Baquishian. He warns they are dozens strong, a huge task. Officer Lee says it's too risky, suggesting they find another place. Zhang reassures him, saying he already has issues with the big Quishian crew. He plans to return in days with a bigger vehicle to move everyone east, near the old tea city. He's building a stronghold and needs help. Zhang turns, says goodbye, and walks away with Shaoli and Shuai. The scene shifts to a dark place, dead. Bodies are scattered. A lone guard stands outside. He guards Biquishan. Inside, orange-haired boss Wenge asks why Jinyu supplies aren't handled. Overweight Xiaoli says he sent men who should be back. They don't know those men are dead. Kai reminds Xiaoli that Jinyu Mansion has important people. They can't just take supplies. Xiaoli assures him his men are told to bring back anyone alive. The boss is furious. Disappointed Xiaoli hasn't finished any tasks. Under Wen's anger, Xiaoli promises to handle it perfectly. Kai smirks, enjoying Xiaoli's stress. Outside, a lackey asks Xiaoli why he's down. Xiaoli asks if his 7 men returned. The lackey says a check an hour ago showed the whole squad was wiped out. Xiaoli is stunned and terrified. He can't believe Rang Garden civilians beat 3 armed men. Panicked, he orders Taozi to gather all armed men. He won't let the mission fail again. Zhang Xiaoyang returns to base. Shan hears the car, knowing Brother Yang is back. Zhang enters his fort. A mission complete notification pops up. Shan greets him, but Zhang sees Lu Ying is missing. He's glad his hunch about that snake was right. Everyone is shocked Zhang knew about Lu Yiming. Zhang points to Shaoli, Shui, telling others to show them rooms, then meet him in the infirmary. Alone with his group, Zhang explains knew Lu Yiming had bad intentions. He wasn't sure it was him, but knew one of Zhangqi's friends was bad. Zhang throws a big gun to Zhangqi. Bleachhead catches it, checks the bullets, and sees they're rubber. The old Zhan about Chen Chong infirmary. Jen says Chen Chong isn't a normal zombie. He's a rare mutant, which my guy already knew. He asked the zombie to blink, and it did. Explains some infected become rare mutants with more intelligence. Chen Chong is very rare. Jen opens the door to see Chen Chong over the troublemaker. The zombie waves at Zhang. Janang tells him, stop holding back and deal with the man. As the mutant drags the man out, his friend asks if the zombie stops and looks at Zhang Qi. No one knows what the zombie is thinking. He suddenly swings at the friend, who barely dodges. Chen Chong is just playing with his friend. Zhang Qi realizes he's still a prankster even as a zombie. Later, Yong Xiaoyong sees he unlocked a mutual companion achievement, gaining points. Surprised, he checks the shop for new items. He sees a new level 2 high-tech supply box. It's expensive, and doesn't want to spend 50 points. He opens the other 2 boxes first. He gets 2 unexpected items from them. One box gives an infection blocker, stopping new infections, but not reversing old ones. The other gives a Barrett M82 sniper rifle and bullets. Zhang is amazed by his luck. He got a powerful weapon and an infection blocker that could stop people from turning. This luck makes him confident and eager for the level 2 box. But he must first recruit survivors from Rongxiang Garden tomorrow. Outside, Chen Chong throws the man out of the fort. In the morning, everyone gathers for training. Everyone, old and young, is armed. Zhang says they must practice shooting for an hour daily. They shoot target bottles, which flash when hit. Zhang tells Uncle Shang to clear rooms for survivors from Rongsheng Garden, Uncle Shang. Zhang also orders Chen Chong to join the escort mission. Later, they find an abandoned bus full of zombies. John easily clears the zombies. Chen Chong helps by throwing them out. After clearing the bus, Zhang gives Chen Chong the keys. He says Chen Chong can remove his mask now, but must put it back on in Rang. The mutant growls, acknowledging the order. At Bikwashan, Xiaoli and his men prepare to leave for Rongjiang Garden. Xiaoli leads the attack, sure he'll win with his large force and weapons. Their truck speeds out, heading for Rongxiang Garden. After clearing a zombie-filled bus, Zhang Xiaoyang got into the driver's seat. He saw more zombies on the highway and drove right through them. Using his fast reactions, he swerved the bus through abandoned cars. Rongxiang Garden's high-rise looked peaceful from outside. Inside, Big Bro Lee's group eats rations, saving their limited supplies. A loud car engine interrupted their meal. The kid thought Brother Xiao Yang had returned. Big Bro Lee grabbed his AK-47, told everyone to be quiet and checked outside. He carefully peeked out a window. He saw thugs, not their savior. They were checking weapons, looking for Building 8. After confirming their target, Liu Shang ordered his armed men to move. Big Broly was stressed. Just as they planned to leave for Brother Yong's fortress, the Bichu mountain thugs arrived. Old Song raised his pistol, ready to fight. With guns, the survivors felt more confident. Big Bro Lee warned the civilians not to be cocky. An army thought. He reminded them on some of the plan and went to the rooftop to set an ambush. The enemy battalion checked their distance. Li Shushang's men raised their scoped guns, aiming at Building 8's windows. Old Song peeked out, then yelled for everyone to take cover. Automatic weapons shattered the morning quiet, firing into the building. Windows shattered, forcing Old Song further back. 1260, after warning shots, Xu Jiang took the megaphone. He told his men to keep shooting windows, ready to kill anyone who showed their face. Xu Song then demanded the survivors' attention. Before he could speak, a bullet hit the lackey next to him, killing him. The thugs froze. They didn't expect hidden snipers. Then another man fell, shot in the leg. On Building 8's roof, an AK-47 fired, filling the air with gunpowder as thugs sought cover. Big Bro Lee had a clear shot. He never thought survivors would have long-range guns. Xu Jiang blamed their intel, which said survivors only had one pistol. Even with stolen guns, there should only be 4. Panicked, the thugs looked to their boss. They feared the unseen threat. Retreat was the simple answer, but they weren't smart. They scattered, running from cover instead of waiting for a signal. 1270, 1271, running from a sniper in the open was deadly. The cop on the roof was ruthless and accurate. Xu Jiang yelled at his men for running to the deaths. He counted to 3, and the rest retreated, their lives depending on it. While his men panicked and ran, Boss Lee stayed hidden. The sniper quickly killed the retreating thugs, one by one, with headshots and body shots. Boss Lee used his men as bait until the sniper ran out of ammo so he could reach his car. A scumbag move. 1276, as expected, the sniper reloaded. Xu Jiang reached the car. Safely, men. Only 4 remained. The last man lagged behind. Li Xiang, in the driver's seat, wouldn't risk waiting for another expendable man. Catboy's brain was pierced by a bullet. He died instantly. The other 2, in the cargo bed, ducked down, fearing the same fate. On the main road, Zhang Zhang's bus sped through the clogged freeway. He calmly drove back to rescue the survivors. With roads empty, another car speeding the other way was a surprise. Xiaoyang didn't chase, he focused on his mission. Getting points was most important. After a few minutes, he arrived at Building 8. Chen Chong and Xiaoyang got out, seeing the shootouts fought mess. Xiaoyang was impressed his rifle helped. He realized the car he saw belonged to the fleeing raiders. 1287, Chen Chong saw the bullet-ridden bodies, salivating and growling. Xiaoyang smiled, asked if he was hungry, and told him to eat the fresh corpses. It was better he ate the meat than leave it for other zombies. 1290, Chen Chong smiled like a kid in a candy store, eager to eat. Xiaoyang let him as long as he met him under Building 8 later. Chen Chong immediately bit into the nearest dead thug's neck. He savored the blood and flesh. After swallowing, he felt a surge of energy. Yung Xiaoyong walked through the bloody scene calmly. He was impressed by Li Hongle's decisive killing. The kid peeked from the window, then lit up seeing Xiao Yang. Seeing their savior, the other survivors came out, waving him closer. Led by the cop, the survivors gathered and met the young man downstairs. Big Bro Lee thanked Xiao Yang for the gun that saved them. It turned out he was an expert marksman before retiring. A loud roar and steady footsteps interrupted their reunion. The survivors froze in terror, seeing what approached. Our favorite zombie. Chen Chong limped over looking strange. Big Bro Lee quickly grabbed his AK-47 and aimed at the zombie. Xiaoyang stopped him, saying the zombie was with them. Everyone found it hard to believe the zombie was with them. Xiaoyang told Chen Chong to eat the dead thugs nearby. Big Bro Lee was shocked and scared. He asked if Xiang could talk to zombies. The young man said Chen Chong wasn't a normal zombie. He told everyone to get on the bus, promising to explain later. On the way to the bus, Xiaoyang told Chen Chong to eat fast and return. Chen Chong gave an okay sign. still eating. After eating all the thugs, Chen Chong put his muzzle back on. The survivors stared at the strange sight. The kid couldn't believe a mindless zombie could put on a muzzle. Xiaoyang warned the kid not to call the mask a muzzle. The kid Loki now thought the zombie was cool. After his feast, Chen Chong calmly got on the bus. After eating much, he grew larger. The bus tilted when he got in. Chen Chong even spoke slurred words, handing the muzzle key back. Xiaoyang didn't expect Chen Chong to speak so soon, even just one word. He ate 6 bodies and must be evolving. Xiang's main goal was to get everyone home, to use his points and strengthen their base. He sat in the driver's seat, telling everyone to hold on as he sped off. At Beachway Mountains HQ, Lai Shushang reported his failure. He was scolded for being useless. He told Boss Lin it wasn't his fault. He got bad info and didn't know the survivors had rifles. Boss Lin didn't believe him. He found it hard to believe a cop had an automatic rifle. The boss was angry, thinking Shushang lied. He insisted, asking them to check the battlefield to prove he wasn't lying. The boss's right-hand man had enough and kicked him down. Li Shuang knew it was time to leave. Mr. Right-hand was tired of Shu Zhang's foolishness and uselessness. Since he caused many losses, they could just kill him. Boss Shu, another executive, revealed the right-hand man's true motive. He wanted Shu Shang's girl. The pervert suggested they share the girl, treating her as common property. Boss Lin smiled, liking the idea. But he said they shouldn't rush waiting for the right chance. Unknown to them, Liu Zhang hadn't left. He heard their disgusting talk from the door. He gritted his teeth in anger. He needed to escape this situation. Hours later, he went home and threw a tantrum. Frustrated, he trashed his home. His girl tried to comfort him. Liu Chong told her to pack. They had to leave. She asked where, but he only said it wasn't safe, and they needed a plan. Boss Li called Qingzi, and his assistant quickly came. He told Qingzi to gather their men. They would leave at midnight. His girl felt something was wrong and didn't like it. Back to the important people. Xiaoyang drove the bus into his compound's indoor parking. The survivors from Building 8 got out, amazed by Xiang's huge fortress. With them safe, the rescue mission was done. He saved 8, not 5. He got 25 points plus 5 bonus, totaling 66. Xiaoyang told his Ombi friend they'd go to the Southern District tomorrow night. Big Bro Li overheard them and asked what was in the Southern District. The young man said he had old grudges to settle at Bichu Mountain Villa. By nightfall, Xiaoyang locked himself in his room, eyeing 50-point level 2 high-tech supply crate he could now buy. He clicked the item, eager to see what his first level 2 crate held. After redeeming it, his points dropped to 16. A bright light swirled around him. Zhang Xiaoyang hoped his big spend wasn't a waste. The level 2 box didn't disappoint. Zhang Xiaoyang got a physical enhancement serum. This large syringe held a drug to by 20 points. He quickly injected it, letting the drug flow through him. It hurt more than expected. His physical stats hit 33, over 6 times an average man's strength. It boosted his strength and sharpened his senses. He felt a mosquito, then grabbed it by its stinger. His improved hand-eye skills would be useful in a fight. He let the mosquito go. Xiaoyang was very happy with his reward. By sunset, he and Brother Chong patrolled the base as usual. In a yard, Li Hongli led shooting practice. After that, Xiaoyang went south of the city. He asked the old cop to lead shooting training, as he was their best sniper. Old Li gladly took the job, eager to use his skills. With that done, Xiaoyang walked and Brother Chong limped to the bus. The bus sped along, but trouble was brewing at the enemy camp. Worthless gangster Li Shushang told his men to flee, sensing danger. His escape plan wasn't as perfect as he thought. Bichu Mountain Villa bosses blocked his driveway, trapping him. The lead car held the leaders plus a familiar face. Boss Dongshu, smiling mockingly with a gun, asked Boss Li why he was leaving at night. Boss Li, a skilled liar, claimed he gathered his men to finish a job at Rongxiang Garden. His lies wouldn't work this time. One of his men was caught and gave up secrets. Boss Li's men instantly knew Qing's dead body. Boss Li tried to act like he didn't know the body. Liu Chong scratched his head, hoping the act worked. Tired, Boss Shu ordered his men to fire, showering the other faction with bullets. Boss Li shivered in fear as his men fell. He kept trying to act dumb. Boss Shu knew how to break him. He told Liu Xiang to look at their car's passenger. The gangster saw karma. Qi Jing, who always finds a bigger fish, had betrayed them again. Boss Kai couldn't help it. That fool kept acting dumb, but Qi Jing had already told their escape plan. He should have known. She clung to him after hurting Xiaoyang. She'd do it again. Finally, Boss Kai looked to Boss Zhang for the last order. Boss Zhang Shang calmly nodded, approving Liu Xiang's execution. Their chosen method was brutal. They put a noose around the man's neck. A strong man pulled until Li Wang died. It was a painful death. He hung at his mansion gates after his last breath. Under night's cover, a blue bus stopped. Xiaoyang and Brother Chong crept towards their target. They arrived at the entrance, but it was too late. They planned to kill Liu Zhang tonight, but someone beat them to it. Shu Zhang wished he could have done it himself. He picked up a pebble, threw the rope, and cut the body down. The scumbag's end made Xiao Yang want to get revenge. At Beihui Mountain Villa, bad sounds came from the top floor. Kijing thought she could betray them and join a bigger gang, but her snitching led her to sadists. Boss Jiang saw her body as a prize to use. The two bosses used her. These people are awful. Luckily, justice is near. Boss Kai looked out the window and saw his dead guards. Then loud knocks came from his door. The knocks were a trick. The real threat entered through the highest window. Xiaoyang, knife in hand, looked like death. He held the cold blade to Boss Kai's neck. One move could kill him. He slit Kai's throat, not letting him speak. Choked on his blood, one down, more to go. Boss Jiang was shocked. His partner was dead. Kijing recognized Jiang Xiaoyang. He threw the knife. It hit Boss Jiang, who died naked with his neck cut. When his body hit the floor, Kijing screamed, "Bloody murder." Kijing knew Xiaoyang wasn't there to save her. She felt more fear seeing him. Xiaoyang gave her a mocking look and left. He slowly unlocked the door, wondering what Li Shu would think of her. The door opened and the mutated fatty entered. The gangster was gone, now a mindless beast. He went for Kijing's neck, eating her flesh. She begged for help, but no one listened. His revenge done, Zhang Xiaoyang closed the door on those who betrayed him. Outside, he told Brother Chong to dispose of the bodies. The dead guards would feed his mutant friend. Brother Chong was full from before. He could only eat one body tonight, but it was better than none. As Brother Chong ate, Xiaoyang's sharp hearing caught strange sounds. Near Bichu Mountain Villa, scared survivors were held in a building. A scary chef and a creepy goon watched them. The goon picked a little girl, choosing her for their next meal. The chef scoffed, rejecting the girl. She was too skinny. He wanted the plump boy hugging his scared mother instead. The chef dragged the boy as his mom begged. Tired of the survivors, the chef hit the lady down. The mom cried, begging for her son's life. It was all she could do. She asked other survivors for help, but they ignored her. They were just glad they weren't chosen. Suddenly, gunshots rang out in the kitchen. 3 big holes appeared in the entrance. The guards drew their guns. Only bosses had such powerful weapons. Luckily, the gunshots saved the boy for now. The bullet hole door creaked open. Guards aimed their guns. Seconds passed, but nothing moved. Impatient, the chef sent a guard to check. The armed guard slowly entered the door. Brother Chong grabbed him by the neck as he entered. He took out an armed goon without showing himself. Seeing the arm, guards thought zombies had broken in. They fired wildly, wasting bullets and hitting nothing. Brother Chong ran in circles, dodging their poor aim to bait them. When the shooting stopped, Brother Chong easily broke a boarded window. He focused on the chef among the guards. Brother Chong broke the chef's neck mid-air without stopping. He landed, then sprang to the next target. The goons were quickly killed. Brother Chong finished his rampage, leaving survivors scared and confused. The zombie killed only the goons, not the others. 14 feet after the fight, Xiao Yong entered, praising Brother Chong's impressive takedown, even with his mask. The mutant replied his mask made him look cooler. He was right, Brother Chong for president. The zombies speaking confused and scared the survivors more. 1458 kids clung to mothers. Everyone kept away from the mutant. Xiaong assured them Brother Chong meant no harm. The girl didn't believe him. She'd seen such monsters kill before. That information caught Xiaoyang's interest. He asked the girl what she meant by super monsters. The mother said they met another mutant in Day City, east of town. Xiaoyang thought new mutants would take months. Decor City was also near their Tea Leaf Town base. He warned Brother Chong about another rare mutant nearby. Mutants keep different levels of sanity and memory, making them smarter and scarier than zombies. Unstable mutations can lead to more violence. Brother Chong worried about his future, hearing his possible path. 1469, Xiaoyong calmed Brother Chong, saying he kept his mind and wouldn't lose it with him around. Xiaoyong then asked survivors about others in the villa. They knew of some in the sales office and basement. They went to the nearest, the basement. Xiaoyang opened the steel door. Blood smell hit him. Everyone recoiled from the bloody sight behind the door. This must be where the villa people store slaughtered meat. Now it's clear why there are no other city gathering spots. 1875, their kill rate seemed off. Survivors saw goons move much meat. Xiaoyang estimated many deaths from basement corpses. Such large meat amounts suggested shady business. The basement was unlivable, so they checked the sales office, a kilometer away. Survivors entering the villa were first held there. Useless ones went to the slaughterhouse. Xiaoyang got new mission, Subpar Utopia. He had to boost the community score. Sales office goons didn't know their kingdom had fallen. They heard gunshots, thinking bosses were target practicing with people. Under cover of dark, Brother Chong easily handled security. A few unfortunate ladies were trapped in the sales office. No clothes in the rooms suggested the worst. They heard noise outside. Some accepted fate, others still had fight. 1485, 1486, the door opened, revealing a determined young man, not a goon. Xiaoyang invited the ladies out, adding them to his rescued group. They left the office building. Blood and bodies of bad guys covered the ground. The young man promised a safe home. Not this hell, his only rule. Everyone must work for the community. These survivors knew the villa's cruelty. Anything was better than their current life. With that settled, Xiang led them to his vehicle. Everyone boarded the bus. Luckily, it was big enough. Soon after the rescue, they reached the base camp. 1495, Shanshan and Zhangqi waited for the boss. Zhangqi watched as the boss didn't drive. Xiaoyang showed them his fortress. He couldn't let everyone in without checking them first. The survivors understood caution was wise. For now, they'd stay in temporary houses with fences. Not as safe as the fortress, but better than anywhere else. The old town had many unfinished buildings. Construction would continue, improving things. Hearing his promise, the survivors thanked their savior. Night ended and morning came. Cars and trucks arrived at B Mountain Villa. The lady boss grew impatient. Jiang Qingwen and her people weren't answering her calls. She knew something was wrong. The lady boss got out and checked the buildings. As expected, she saw gore, blood, and death. Those who died last night became mindless undead. Li Shuxiang was one of the zombies inside. He roared and attacked the living. The lady boss ignored them. She easily killed them with her bare hands. She pulled out a knife and tore the zombies apart. The building was full of undead. Their bosses died. Their meat supply would suffer. They needed to clean up the mess. First, they'd find who caused the villa's fall. Blood would spill. 1514, after checking the villa, they found no one alive and reported to Lady Boss Rui. Good news. There's still meat for today's shipment. They just needed to load the truck. As her men loaded human meat, Boss Rui planned her next move. She saw tire tracks leaving the villa. This would help them track the man who ruined their operation. Back at the fortress, Xiaoyang thought about expanding his community. Even with many new people, his score was only 2 points. Shouldn't population count? Luckily, he had plenty of land. The snobby seller did him a favor. Besides expanding, he had another issue. A rare mutant in a nearby town. 1523, the boss, Shanshan and Zhangqi went to the prefab area and were greeted with respect. 1525, after settling into the temporary homes, some survivors knelt in thanks. Xiaoyang just wanted more info on the super monster the mom and daughter spoke of. Mom said they met the monster at Horenfa Market in Decor City. They were scavenging supplies but found the beast instead. Many died. She grabbed her girl and fled the chaos. Separated, they ran to BY Mountain Villa. They thought they were safe, but found worse monsters. Knowing the location, Xiaoyang left. Shanshan and Zhongyi tried to stop him, saying they had enough supplies. He wasn't going for loot. Decor City was under 2 km away. He couldn't let such a threat remain so close. Hearing him, the survivor who met the monster tried to stop him. Xiaoyang assured everyone he knew what he was doing. He just needs Brother Chong to visit that thing. A group of capable survivors searches Hofrenfa for supplies. They found a large supermarket, eager to loot it. They should lower their hopes. The supermarket might be empty. The survivors entered the supermarket, sure of their group's skills. They snuck inside, met by total darkness. Their eyes adjusted. The supermarket was looted, but not fully. To check for others, the group stayed close and made noise. They then listened for any movement. Moments later, a few zombies appeared. The survivors calmly killed them. They carefully and together killed the monsters. They were glad to see few zombies. The main horde likely left with the last looters. Still, the experienced group stayed alert while scavenging. Unknown to them, a smart beast hid, waiting like a hunter. Deeper in, the survivors felt lucky for years of supplies. Others craved food, but their leader saw the bed display. She relaxed and excitedly jumped on the soft bed. Some joked about living in the supermarket, as it had everything. As the group explored, 2 leaders smoked outside. They knew the mall wasn't ideal to settle. Too many entrances made it hard to defend. Many supplies would attract raiders. A nearby 2-story building looked good, but to settle, they needed to live. The hunter emerged, starting his hunt for the living. A survivor yelled for help, getting everyone's notice. He ran inside fast, but couldn't outrun a super mutant. The beast's sharp claws went back through its chest. The mutant quickly tore the man apart. The survivors froze in fear. Someone yelled retreat, but their legs gave out. They fought fear and ran. Their escape attempt failed badly. They fell one by one, starting with the slowest. They ran with all their might, hoping to escape the predator chasing them. Moments later, everyone else was dead except the leader. She ran, seeing the exit light, pushing with all her strength. Running in heels was not the best way to escape death. It was her fault. The super mutant loomed, enjoying her fear. She cried, raising her arms in a weak defense. She looked up and saw a different super mutant wearing a cool mask. Instead of attacking, this mutant just walked past her. A young man followed the mutant, telling her not to fear. Zhang Xiaoyang and his group saved her. She recognized him as the kid who bought land from her. He also knew her as the polite saleswoman. He thought her name was Ningwan Wan. Their reunion was cut short by tearing flesh. Wan Wan warned him of the monster, but he said it was being handled. She saw 2 strange creatures facing off. Mall Mutant saw Brother Chong as a rival, but Chong saw him as just another obstacle. It was their first time meeting another of their kind. Both were eager to fight. The Mall Mutant attacked with long claws, barely missing Brother Chong. He wondered if eating another mutant would make him stronger. As the Mall Mutant laughed, Brother Chong struck with a roar. The punch was so strong it slammed the mall mutant's head into the floor. The mutant had to stop playing and take the masked one seriously. Brother Ch lifted his foot over the monster's head. Kicking him while he's down was fine here, but the naked mutant was fast, dodging the attack. With a twisted laugh, the mutant thanked the humans who made him stronger daily. Brother Chong's senses warned him of danger. The mall mutant leaped at him, looking wilder than before. They traded many blows quickly. Zheng worried Brother Chong was losing. Xiaoyang was glad they came. The mutant might have become unstoppable. To help, the young man made an AK-47 appear. He asked Brother Chong to hold the beast for a second to finish it. As always, the super mutant obeyed, stopping the mall mutant from using its speed. Gunfire filled the mall. A bullet hit the head, cracking its skull and destroying its brain. One shot wasn't enough to kill the mutant, but it hurt him. He now targeted the young man. Changyi was shocked. He'd never seen anything survive a headshot. If one bullet failed, he'd use more, switching to full auto. High-caliber bullets tore into the mall mutant, making it look like rotten cheese. It fell shivering as it died. Xiaoyang suggested Brother Chong eat the mutant for a power boost. To his surprise, killing the beast also boosted his community score and mission progress. Since the supermarket was untouched, they decided to grab some supplies. They couldn't leave empty-handed. Xiaoyang's storage power was useful. No need for trucks. He could store everything in another dimension. It was crude, but instead of bodies turning to zombies, they could be Brother Chong's dessert. While Xiaoyang was gone, Boss Rui and her team followed tire tracks to scout the enemy. From a distance, they checked the stronghold's strength. Boss Rui's aide noted the fortress had many people but few weapons. Their only strength was a warehouse. She wondered how they beat Zhang Qingguin and others. Boss Rui guessed they used tricks, maybe luring zombies. Arrogant, Boss Rui thanked the heavens for easy prey and a new base. They needed to return, regroup, and gather forces before a surprise attack. The scouts left. Xiaoyang's group was returning. Zhongyi told Wanwan. Their base had mattresses and hot showers. Seeing other cars on the highway was rare now. The group grew tense, readying weapons. 2 cars passed, going opposite ways. They didn't slow, but Zhang Xiaoyang and Boss Rui sensed each other. A new mission started. Resist invasion for 50 points. Xiaoyang felt the suspicious drivers were the invaders. To confirm, he asked Shannon, the watchtower, about suspicious activity. The woman knew a car passed far off, but not close enough to alarm. That was enough for Xiaoyang to act. He called Uncle Shang and Old Li to gather everyone for news. Meanwhile, the southern coal plant ran smoothly. A choppy radio broadcast led survivors to the plant, claiming it was a safe zone needing workers. The capable survivors stayed alert. They finally saw a car heading their way. The car stopped. Boss Rui and her crew, back from scouting, greeted the survivors drawn by the radio. Seeing her, the survivors lost all sense, wanting to join. Boss Rui used her charms to disarm them. Smiling, she invited them to her camp. Walking to the plant, the survivors shared lewd looks. Inside felt at home. One asked for the restroom. Boss Rui offered to show him, and he quickly agreed. She didn't just take him to the urinals. Boss Rui watched him pee, her eyes on him the whole time. Thinking it an invite, the survivor told Boss Rui to try him. He of his strength. But a quick step and stab silenced his crude words. Boss Rui killed him fast. He never knew what hit him. She first thought of letting him join, but his small size made killing him easy. Her men handled the others outside. All survivors drawn by the radio were killed. At the fortress, everyone met for war talks. Old Li wondered who would attack them. The enemy was unknown, but an attack could come anytime. Zhongqi and Chong must help the boss clear the southeast building. For refugees, the current housing is unsafe. Shanshan and others volunteered. Even the unlike twins joined Lil. Shui also volunteered, annoying his mother. Ning Wanwan offered to help clear. Uncle Shang and Old Li would guard the base. Everyone else would get ready. Xiaoyang led a small army ready to clear the way for war. Inside the southeast building, chaos erupted as the army killed every nearby zombie. It was a fierce hunt, sharpening their killer instincts for future fights. After the first wave, Xiaoyang called a break to check on everyone. He warned them again of tough days ahead. For now, they'd clear the southeast building. The refugees, once invited, offered to help fight. Xiaoyang realized more fighters would be a good thing. He promised handguns and bullets later. The building and fortress would use walkie-talkies during an attack. At the coal plant, Boss Rui watched their secret cannibal operation. Her second and third in command were eager for their share. Boss Rui was angry Beachway Mountain was gone. Now they had to find their own food. Numbers 2 and 3 weren't happy. Luckily, they knew who to hit in the east suburb. Tomorrow, Boss Rui and number 2 would lead a team to destroy them. At the fortress, work stopped for the night. Zhang Xiaoyang checked his system. With 46 points, he wanted to see the new daily crates. In the store, he saw a 25-point level 2 awakening crate, a farming crate, and a level 1 food crate. The 2 level 2 crates cost 40, but he'd spend it. His most expensive crate gave him the overload skill, boosts his stats by 25% but leaves him weak afterward. With his great strength, a 25% boost would make him superhuman, 8 times stronger than average. Xiaoyang was eager to try this new power. After a quiet night, a noisy day began. A fleet of vehicles left the southern coal plant, heading east. Boss Rui reviewed the attack plan. First, they drive through and kill the exposed refugees. After number 2 breaks the door, everyone will enter with their vehicles for cover fire. Number 2, a starving weirdo, couldn't even wear a shirt. As the enemy neared, the fortress was on alert. Old Li took a high spot hidden from below. Xiaoyang put him there because he was a sniper before being a cop. Old Li corrected him, saying he was only a temporary sniper for months. Still, he could hit targets within 500 meters if the wind was calm. This was vital for battle. Xiaoyang told Xiangqi to bring something heavy to the roof. The young man opened the heavy crate, revealing a new Barrett sniper rifle. Old Li was shocked. How did he get this? Xiaoyang didn't answer, just said they had only 10 rounds. Old Li felt the gun's weight and responsibility. Everyone else was ready. Xiaoyang said the enemy could appear anytime. Shans on the watchtower saw something odd and quickly told everyone. Old Li saw a fleet of enemies coming fast through his scope. In the car, Boss Rui's men wondered where the refugees outside the wall went. 1705. Boss Rui told her men to charge without stopping. They were close to stop now. The fleet rushed towards the wall for cover. Shanshan told everyone to shoot once enemies were in range. 1708. They spread out, grabbed their guns, and fired heavily at the attackers. The coal plant people didn't expect such strong weapons. Bullets tore through glass and bodies at once. 1711, 1,012, 1713. It was meant to be a surprise, but they were surprised. Instead, Boss Rui couldn't believe her plan failed so fast. It was too late to retreat. She ordered her men to keep charging even as many fell. Some troops reached the wall alive. They needed to get number 2 and his huge saw to the gates. 1716, number 2 cut through the strong door with his saw, Shan. Shan warned everyone about this strange attacker at their gate. Watchtower guards aimed their rifles and started shooting. 1719, Boss Ruchi and her men fired back to help number 2. Watchtower guards, new to fighting, were forced back by the heavy gunfire. 721, 723, Fatty Shai was shot in the shoulder, but it wasn't fatal. The enemy's good aim and weapons made it hard to hold them back. Older fighters urged the young ones to stand firm. They had ammo for a long fight, but the saw was almost through the gate. Breaking it would put them at a disadvantage. 1725, the calm boss had a plan for after breach. Xiaoyang left the fortress unseen. 1727-78, the man ran out as if bulletproof. Boss Ru's group used half their ammo and number 2 still hadn't broken through. He needed seconds more. 1730, the gate burst open. Shan and the watchtower team rushed down to help. Boss Ru smiled slyly. She was in. She wanted to see how the new recruits faced an evolver powered by human meat. Using number 2 as a shield, she told her men to follow closely. The monster dropped his saw and forced the opening wider. Seeing the enemies clearly, Xiaoyang told Old Li it was his turn. Li Hongli calmed himself and aimed at the big man. When the large head appeared, Old Li's aim locked on instantly. 1738,039, number 2 roared, sounding like a beast. Survivors seeing him agreed. Once he broke the gate, their spirits fell. They tried to stop, but his skin was too tough. Their bullets did nothing. Number 2 charged in, taking all the bullets without armor. 1742, 1743, bullets just bounced off him, leaving small marks that quickly healed. Boss Ru was happy with her giant shield's effect. She figured they'd never seen an evolver's power before. 740,746, the signal reached Li Hongli on the roof. He trusted his aim and powerful bullets. The Barrett shook with the shot. One pull of the trigger blew the monster's head apart, a mess of blood and brains. 1748, 49, 1951, 50, number 2, thought invincible, fell dead. Boss Rui and her men were shocked. He was their only shield. How did this small group get such weapons? With him gone, Xiaoyang appeared, flanking the enemy with his AK-47. He opened fire, startling them. It was easy for him. Boss Rui knew her mistake led to this. She underestimated them, and now they'd pay. 1754, she wouldn't give up. Submachine gun in hand, she fired back, running for the exit. Gritting her teeth, she tried to retreat. 1756, seeing Xiaoyang's fierce eyes, she knew him as the kid from yesterday. To escape, she grabbed one of her men. 1758,759,760, she used the man as a human shield without blinking. Yang realized her fast meant she was an evolver. After her man took many bullets, she threw him at the shooter, blocking the exit. Xiaoyang dodged, stopping his fire. Those few seconds let Boss Rui run to her car. 1763, Old Li wouldn't let anyone escape after they ruined their peace. He aimed at the scout, declaring his Barrett supreme. He thinks he's Gojo. He missed a headshot but hit her fast legs instead. 1766, 767, 68, 771, 7772, 773. Losing a leg, Boss Rui fell near her car. Li Hongli felt bad for missing the kill. Her man helped her into the car. They escaped, skilled at getting away. Xiaoyang told everyone to stop shooting. He didn't care if they returned. Happy his mission was done. He got 50 points, boosting morale, and unlocked the next Nemesis mission. He'd attack the cannibals' base for another 50. The fortress celebrated their win. A few were hurt, but no one died. The injured went to medical enemy bodies to cold storage for Brother Chong. With the base safe, refugees could return home. 1775 and 1776, 779, 78, 781 alone. Xiaoyang checked his mission points. Eager to... At the coal plant, only 3 survivors. Returned Boss Rui missing a leg. Number 3. Met them, confused, ashamed. Boss Rui admitted her carelessness, not expecting heavy fire. She yelled at her men for human meat to heal. 3 smiled slyly as she kept calling them useless fools, not even worth number 2's toes. 1783, 784, 785, 1787, 1788, 789, 1790. Number 3's had enough. The boss was weak, but still mocked them. Boss Rui made another huge mistake, not expecting a revolt. Panicked, she ordered her men to attack number 3, but no one moved. Even her rescuers ignored her. With Boss Rui hurt and number 2 dead, number 3 could take power. He'd already turned everyone against her. The coal mine men were tired of her rule. Now, their chance. Boss Rui still thought she could control them. But, as they gathered with bad intent, her bossy front broke. Led by number 3, the coal plant men attacked their cruel boss. 1792, Fubber 93, Fubber 54, Fubber 55, Fubber 96, Fubber 97, Woody 98, Fubber 1801, Woody 03, 1804, 1805, 1806. They laughed, hitting Boss Rue with metal pipes, mocking her screams. As an evolver, her torture lasted long. When she died, number 3 smiled, wiping blood from his hands. A goon called him Boss 3. He almost beat him to death. He demanded to be called Big Boss. With the witch and number 2 gone, the coal plant's power was low. Their biggest fear was the Tentacle Man, not the Eastern Fortress. Big Boss decided to leave the plant and join the West Steel Group. A day later, Zhang Xiaoyang and his men snuck behind enemy lines. As expected, the enemy was at the coal plant. He told Zhang Qi and Old Li to be quiet and stay close. They found no one active inside. They saw the woman who led the attack yesterday, clearly killed by her own people. The others were shocked, but Xia Zhang expected it. Zhangyi asked about the big man who broke the door. He was different from Chen Chong but had strange powers. Xiaoyang had talked about evolvers before. Old Li wondered how one becomes an evolver. 1808, 1809, 1810, 1811, 1812. Xiaoyang plainly said one evolves by eating humans. This shocked everyone. He explained cannibalism was the easiest way to gain mutant powers, and he asked if Xiao Zhang did this too since he had powers. He wondered if they also had to eat people. Xia stopped them, saying cannibalism wasn't the only way. He pulled out a glowing red rock from his pocket. 1814, 1815, 1816, 1818, 1820, 1821, 1822, 1823, 1824. Evolvers and zombies are mutated life forms. Mutants get stronger by absorbing exotic energy. Normal people have little of this energy. Evolvers and rare mutants form cores of this energy. Even normal zombies will form cores later. Eating zombie meat seems risky. Normal people can't eat it. Only mutants like Brother Chong gain power. As they spoke, Xiang's mission Nemesis of Villains Volume 2 cleared. The enemies were no longer a threat. While Xiaoyang checked his system, Zombie almost attacked him. His fast reflexes saved him. He calmly killed the zombie with his knife. The zombie he cut open showed his point perfectly. He pulled a core from its body. With more zombies, hunt season was starting. Holding 2 cores, he offered Zhangyi and Li Hongli start on evolving. Zhangyi was about eating zombie parts, so Old Li took both cores. After thinking, Li Hongli's wish for strength beat his fear. 1826, his body changed stronger than ever. Xiaoyang warned him that being an evolver did make him safe. Old Li promised not to be reckless. Crisis over, they headed back. The enemy arrived at the West Steel Mill. A guard stopped them. Big Boss number 3 introduced himself as the coal plant's rep. The wary guard made them wait to report to his leader. After talks, the coal plant men entered. The steel mill bosses asked about Jing, Rui and number 2. Number 3 lied, saying they were attacked and lost them. The bald steel mill boss was interested, sent the coal plant men to a safe house. Baldy and his partner planned something bad. Number 3 and his men were in the safe house. He kept correcting his men about missing how dangerous their situation was. One man said it wasn't a safe house, but a prison with bars and locked doors. Before they could figure it out, the guard burst in, ordering them out. They met the steel mill bosses again, the whole plant present. Number 3 asked what was happening. The lady boss knew number 3 betrayed Boss Rui and said he must be punished. Number 3 tried to deny Boss Pang and Boss Ling's claims, but it was too late. Boss Ling didn't believe him. She called her guard, Li Cheng, to share info. He saw Li Yingru dead at the coal plant, number 2 gone. No signs of a fight. It looked like a betrayal. 3 still denied it. In this new world, proof didn't matter. You could be punished without trial. The West Steel Mill would have killed these men if Boss Ru was not gone. With her gone, number 3 walked into a trap. A goon begged for mercy, offering info. Boss Ling let him speak, not caring much. The snitch told her about a rich settlement in the east where the boss and number 2 were beaten, he said. It was as strong as the steel mill. Baldy and Boss Ling couldn't ignore a threat. The snitch added that the eastern fortress people didn't know how to evolve. Li Chung listened, confused. About evolvers, Baldy Pang found it hard to believe Jing Rule lost to normal people. The snitch explained they had heavy weapons that could kill someone like number 2 in one shot. Boss Ling was happy with the intel, but she was cruel and didn't reward traitors. When she ordered them killed, the coal plant, men froze. They screamed for mercy until they were silenced. Last of the coal plant faction was wiped out. Baldy Pang worried about the eastern threat. Boss Ling thought it best not to attack yet due to their heavy weapons. They should evolve more first. They'd send scouts to check if the Easterners were truly not evolved. Meanwhile, Yang Xiaoyang relaxed in his room, checking his system with 126 points. He found a level 2 black tech supply box for 50 points. He bought everything, leaving... The supply crate gave him 500 kilograms of lotus, root powder, cocoa butter, and cooking oils. The real prize was the plus 20 physical enhancement serum from the black tech box. Knock interrupted him. Shanshan said they caught a suspicious person. Xiaoyang went to check. Shang-Chi and old Li held the man, who claimed he wasn't an enemy, just wanting to talk to their leader. When Xiaoyang arrived, the man introduced himself as Shixing from West Wind Steel Mill. Uncle Song was surprised. West Wind was a large steel mill settlement 3 kilometers the coal plant. Shuking puffed his chest, saying survivors should unite. His leader sent him to find new recruits. Shiokai didn't believe the obvious lie the man had been circling and drawing a map. When the map came out, Axing smiled awkwardly. To be sure, Xiaoyang used his mind eye. He saw disdain in Shu Axing's soul. Xiaoyang wasn't soft. He put a gun to Axing's head. Things worked now. It was rude to think he was stupid. If Xiaoyang didn't get the truth, Axing would say. Xiaoyang's serious look, Axing gulped. He still insisted he wasn't lying, just being careful. Xiaoyang asked Zhangqi if Axing had seen Brother Chong. He hadn't, so Xiang told his men to let Axing go. He even returned the map, was thrilled, thinking his act worked, and ran from the fortress. Watching the scout leave, Xiaoyang smiled slyly. He was already planning how many points he'd get from the West Wind Steel Mill. 5 peaceful months passed. At the West Steel Plant, people worried about disappearances. They knew the tentacle monster was back, but didn't know what to do. Some garbage men heard a sound from the trash pile and were scared. Before one could report, he was killed by a sharp blade. Li Cheng the guard heard screams from the trash. The surviving garbage man blamed the tentacle monster. The beast was attacking in daylight. Li Cheng grabbed his gun, told civilians to hide, and called evolvers with escape skills to follow. At the trash heap, they saw a suspicious figure. Li Cheng warned his men not to fight, just escape. If seen closer, he realized the monster wasn't there. He saw tracks. Maybe the monster took its prey and left. Since the mountain and southern coal plants were gone, disappearances grew. The monster used to hunt everywhere, now only the steel mill, but Li Cheng felt the tentacle man wasn't behind this. Back at the fortress, 5 months of progress were clear. Zheng Xiaoyang had survived, longer than before. Rebuilding civilization seemed possible. His community score was 38. The mission for the West Steel Mill hadn't appeared. Inner Circle worked hard. Seeing Shanshan and the boys back, Xiang jumped from the wall, showing his powers. Zhangxi reported a successful hunt. No one could fight or track them. Little Shui now joined hunts. Wan watched him and becoming a strong fighter, even killing a zombie today. For villain, Nemesis Volume 3, the Fortress Battalion hunted zombies for cores and potential allies. Xiang was confused about potential allies, maybe the West's. Since the system gave no orders, Xiaoyang decided to infiltrate the mill alone. Old Li was against it. Uncle Song had dealt with scouts for months, likely with bad intentions. Xiaoyang assured them his strength meant even Brother Chong couldn't hurt him. They needed to know if these people were friends or foes. Uncle Shang Old Li and his inner circle would run the fortress and refugee town. The fortress would be fine, but they worried about their leader. Without him, the settlement would fall. At the steel mill, Li Chong returned from the trash heap. He wanted to talk to the bosses, but guards stopped him. Li Chong snapped, grabbing a guard's throat. Realizing his temper, he let go and apologized. He worried about his outbursts, losing control. Lately, the bosses heard him and let him in. Lung cautiously entered Boss Ling's office, finding her alone. Li Chung suggested a different killer for the disappearances. He found woman's footprints at a crime scene. He thought they blamed the tentacle man, but another killer was loose. Boss Ling didn't dismiss it, but told him to keep it quiet. The tentacle man already scared everyone. Couldn't make people more anxious. Li Chen tried to argue, but Boss Ling's close face made him blush and back down. He awkwardly left. Li Cheng was strong but lost his head around his boss. From another room a voice mocked Boss Ling's carelessness, snapped back, offering to give the job to someone else if criticized. The voice was Baldy Pang's, chopping up the garbage boys. Corpse. Ling killed, Baldy cleaned. They threw heads away and ate the bodies. Meanwhile, our hero killed zombies, cleaning the streets. Nearing his goal, he needed to be low profile. He pulled scissors from his storage and cut his hair with closed eyes, then he smeared dirt on his face. For a final touch, he put on glasses. He looked bad, but not too bad. Near Steel Mill, a guard saw him. A stranger was usually met with hostility, but he smiled. He claimed to have seen signs of people from afar, happy to see survivors. The guard, thinking he was a lone survivor, got excited. He asked how he survived so long. Xiaoyang made up a story about his 10-person group being overrun by zombies, leaving him alone. Asked about strength, he said he was powerful, gaining experience from many zombie attacks. The guard was checking if he was an evolver. Since he didn't mention evolving, the guard welcomed him. The guard said he'd have to pass a test. From this, the young man knew the steel plant was dangerous. Near the mill door, Cheng noticed the stranger. The guard fumbled, saying he was taking the survivor for a security search. Li Cheng was direct. If a search was needed, do it now, he told the stranger. To hand over all weapons. Xiaoyang hesitated, not wanting to. Unarmed. Li Cheng understood caution, but said outsiders must disarm or leave. Playing reluctant, Xiaoyang handed over his blade. He had many more hidden. Li Chun searched him thoroughly for hidden weapons. Xiaoyang was surprised to find someone with morals here, unlike the savages at Bichu and the coal plant. Seeing he survived with just a dagger, Li Cheng asked if he was an evolver. She played dumb, saying he just felt stronger. To be sure, Cheng took him to the boss. Xiaoyang waited in the reception room, which looked like a prison cell with reinforced doors. Minutes later, Boss Ping opened the cell, his bald head peeking in, asking the stranger's name. Xiaoyang stumbled, saying Jiang Wei, close to Kanye. Baldy Ping wanted to confirm if Zhang Ya was evolver. The fastest way was to test his strength. Baldy Ping threw a hatchet at his face. Zhang Ya casually moved his head, letting it hit the wall. He thought of fighting back, but saw Baldy was testing him, so he kept acting normal, yelling at Baldy Pang for almost killing him. Pang laughed. Dodge proved the new guy was a strong evolver. If he hadn't dodged, he'd be dead, no loss. Since they were both evolvers, Baldy Pang asked how he evolved. He hinted at cannibalism and warned him to keep it secret. Few knew, and they didn't want it spread. If Baldy heard a leak, he'd know who to show. The Shadumusi it was. He lunged, pretending to crush Zhang Ya's neck. It was a bluff. Baldy had attacked with a weapon. He would have fought back, making it bloody. But killing Baldy now would cost him 80 mission points. Pang was impressed. Zhang Ya drew away so fast. Baldy said he was on another level, so Zhang Ya shouldn't fight him. After their talk, Baldy Pang told his men to treat Zhang Ya with respect. Give him new clothes, let him wash up before meeting the others. After cleaning up, Zhang Ya met the other revolvers. Baldy Pang introduced Huang Ling as his co-lead and Li Chen and Huang Bin as officers. Huang Bin would show the newcomer around. Boss Ling praised Zhang Ya's luck in finding the strongest settlement. Survival wasn't an issue, but he needed to contribute. Zhang Ya promised to do his best. Everything went smoothly. He joined Huang Bin's patrol. Akyang and Ak-Sing were also on patrol. Akyang, annoyed the new kid, was with them. Since Zhang Ya knew about evolvers, he had to be in this group. Ak-Sing kept watching the new kid, feeling a strange familiarity. Huang Bin was fair explaining their settlement. Only Baldy Ping, Boss Ling, and their four about eating human flesh. Ak-Sing was Baldy's cousin, Akyang, Boss Ling's nephew. The secret was safe with them, unless an outsider leaked it. Zheng Yi felt uneasy under Ak-Sing's gaze. This was the old man Jiang Qi caught near the fortress. Li Chang, another officer, was talented and powerful, but didn't know about evolution. He must not find out about their cannibalism, or there would be 2 more bodies. This gave Zhang Ya much info. The buses kept Li Chang in the dark because of his great talent. On the mill's edge, Hong Bin stopped them. They were near a small settlement of 7. Hong Bin's crew had watched them for 4 days, seeing no evolvers. Asked if they hunted, Huang Bin laughed, preferring raising. Since Zhang Ya was an enlightened evolver, they wanted him to change his views. Saw themselves as apex predators, not bound by morals. The plan: subdue the settlement, raise them like cattle, then slaughter them. Only needed 5 or 6. The rest would be killed. New kids should watch and learn. The small settlement had lived peacefully for months, working to prove their lives. While fixing the camp, zombies appeared. Hungry for flesh, the group grabbed weapons to fight, but having guns and not shooting meant death. As his friends fell, the builder trembled. Zhang Yi and his troop watched from afar, listening to screams. Hong Bin said it was needed. Due to limited resources, they couldn't feed more people. With the zombie horde thinning the survivors, Hang Bin's crew moved in. A woman screamed as monsters approached. With a quick slash, the flesh-eating beasts were beheaded. The woman was shocked, thinking she was dead. Now her savior offered a hand. Huang Bin used a hammer, axing dual daggers. They were deadly. After killing the horde, Hang Bin introduced them as evolvers from West Wind Steel Plant. Survivors didn't know what an evolver was but were happy to be saved. One fight gave Zhang Ya data. He thought Hang Bin's crew was like Zhangqi's subgroup. Suddenly he felt strong presence. Zhang Yi turned, seeing an open room in a building. No one was there, so he thought it was his. Huang Bin told him to help clean up, but presence in the abandoned building bothered him. Zhang Ya didn't know. His anxiety was right. A monster was hiding there. The survivors shared info. Supplies were in their warehouse. Yung Ya oversaw supply collection while Huang Bin's men got a truck. He also had to pile up dead bodies. The lucky survivors followed Huang Bin like a messiah. This suited Jiang Wei, giving him time to act. Walking to the steel mill, survivors praised Hang Bin. Girl asked Akyang if they had baths. The creep grabbed her, bragging about hot water and soap at the mill. The mood changed when Axing felt danger. Huang Bin noticed Axing's reaction and raised his guard. He yelled for everyone to be alert. Still clung to the girl who was clearly. Axing's instincts were sharp, but he couldn't find the danger. Akyang said Axing was paranoid, but Shu Axing trusted his gut. Something was out there, as if Axing was the first to fall to a sneak attack. Something sharp pierced his neck. He died without knowing how. Huang Bin panicked. He knew that killing method. The tentacle monster was here. Tentacle pulled back, leaving tension. The beast was suddenly in Huang Bin's range. While the group was being destroyed, Hero calmly harvested mutant cores from dead zombies. 2 zombies dropped cores a good haul. He would have kept playing his role, but he heard cries for help. Was in trouble. The monster's tentacles were all over him. To end his pain, the beast squeezed him until blood came from everywhere and snapped his leg. The survivors were terrified. Even Akyang, who was so cocky, looked like he'd cry. Sensing Akyang was the last threat, the monster focused. Akyang backed away, paralyzed by fear. To save himself, he grabbed the girl's wrist and threw her at the tentacles to distract the beast. The monster took the easy prey. It ended in painful suffocation. But this wasn't the end for the survivor. Her true savior made a grand entrance, slicing the tentacles and saving her. Maybe Yung Ya and his knife could fight the feared monster. Jiang looked at the tentacle man, not impressed or scared. Was just one of the tentacle monster's sons, as the steel mill people called them. The tentacle monster often muttered, "Son," and could turn normal zombies into tentacled horrors. Even Baldy Pong and Boss Ling would struggle against one. Akyang was sure of it, looking for a chance to run. He yelled at Zhang Ya to hold off the beast, while he called for help and fled. The scared survivors also ran. Zhenya felt Akyang's betrayal. The coward tried to sell him out. The tentacle's son recovered, angry at Zhang Ya's cuts. The new tentacles wrapped around Zhang Ya didn't resist. He was curious about evolved mutants having sons. He acted calm because he was strong enough. He wanted to test this strange creature. They played tug of war with tentacles. Zhang realized he hadn't used his awakened ability. This was a good time to test his limits. He dug heels in stable. He activated physical overload, boosting his stats hugely. The overload was powerful. Before, he barely held his own. Now he dragged the tentacle son across the ground. When it was close, he stopped the dragging with the beast couldn't speak, but its roars were now submissive. The only survivor who stayed watched wide-eyed. Normal-looking young man tore apart the beast that beat skilled fighters with his bare hands. When Zhanga finished, the creature's body was in pieces. Zhang asked the woman if she was okay. Seeing monster blood on his face, she screamed. Knowing his power, she saw him as the real beast. Zhang Ya wiped his face, smiled, and said he wasn't a monster. Meanwhile, Akyang led the fleeing survivors to the mill gates. Baldy Pang, Boss Ling, and Li Chen met them, puzzled by Akyang's state and the missing crew. Quickly told them how Huang Bin and Axing died, the tentacle son. Li Chong asked about the new guy. Akyang assumed Zhang Ya, a noob, couldn't have survived. Here, his cousin died. Baldy Pang was furious, blaming the survivors. Baldy killed the whole group, his hatchet tasting blood. Couldn't act rashly now. Baldy calmed down after killing some randoms. A bundle of tentacles hit the ground, stopping the chaos. Everyone looked up to see the new guy, Zheng Ya, and the saved lady arrived after Baldy's outburst. Chung was happy and impressed the rookie was alive. Even brought a girl and tentacles as proof, he explained. How he killed the tentacle son and avenged the bosses. Relatives, the co-leads reevaluated the new guy. Zhang Ya asked for vehicles and men to clean up. While he worked, the bosses questioned Akyang. The roach still refused to believe. Zhang Ya killed a monster that one-shot the Evolver crew. Akyang thought even Baldy and Boss Ling together would struggle. Baldy based his judgment on Zhang Ya's initial test, thinking someone who didn't fight properly couldn't be that strong. Boss Ling thought the tentacle's son only won by ambush. Either way, they couldn't let someone as strong as the new guy stay, especially near Lai Chang. Boss Ling heard footsteps and hushed everyone. Li Chung knocked, entering with ideas, offered condolences for Axing and Huang Bin. Sudden deaths were normal now. Li Chung suggested making Zhang Ya an officer due to his strength. Baldy Pang opposed, saying they didn't know his past. Boss Ling stopped Baldy, believing Young Ya had officer potential, but he needed to prove it. Shun argued killing a tentacle son was proof enough they could test him on the real tentacle monster. If he killed it, 2 problems solved. Li Chung argued unfair, even the 2 bosses couldn't do it. Boss Ling assured him it wasn't a suicide mission. The whole mill would act as a problem. After hauling supplies and bodies, Zhang Ya heard the plan. He was surprised they'd plan around him so quickly. Boss Ling appealed to his pride, calling him the strongest fighter. Baldy Pang added that if he succeeded, Zhang Ya would get the 3rd leadership seat. He sarcastically asked Li Chang if it was okay for the new kid to outrank him. Li Chang gritted his teeth and agreed. Plan set for 2 days. Zhang Ya was impressed by their acting. He might have believed them if he couldn't read their souls. Enough time in the steel mill. Back at the Eastern Fortress, everyone was worried their boss undercover was calling. Old Li and the gang listened on the walkie-talkie. Xiaoyang stood on machinery, giving off an aura relaying the plan to take down the mill. In 2 days they'd meet at the South Suburban Park to wipe out the threat. Old Li handled Uncle Shang due to age would stay back, vital for the fort. This mission was high stakes. Top fighters needed to be ready. Brother Chong, Shanshan, Zhang Qi, and the crew were crucial. Little Shui wanted to fight. His mom stopped him, saying war was for adults, but she hadn't seen him hunt. Little Shui was strong. Old Li needed all hands. Plus, early experience was good for Little Shui. 2 days passed. The hunt day arrived. Baldy Pan Boss Li led everyone to the tentacle monster's last known spot. Disguised, Zhang Ya asked how to lure it. Baldy told him not to rush. They had a plan. Zhang Ya scanned the area unseen. He saw their signal in a nearby building. Roof, the crew was armed, watching from afar. They could get closer. The boss ordered them not to approach the park yet. For now, they set ropes. Once action started, they'd attack from the sides. Downstairs, Boss Ling called a thin porter. The kid asked what she needed. With cruel smile, she told him to go into the park. Porters were for supplies. Li Teaching couldn't stand by. Boss Ling saw a young boy as the best bait. Always muttered they'd give it one. She promised to save the kid once the big monster appeared. The porter was terrified. Baldy Pang stepped in. He grabbed the kid, threatening him if he resisted. With evolver strength, he threw the boy deep into the dark park, likely injuring him. In the building, Old Li watched, alert. He signaled everyone to climb the ropes. In the park, the boy stumbled, calling for help. No one answered. Then a roaring voice muttered, "Son," echoing. The main tentacle monster appeared. It looked like the one Zhang Ya killed, but more human-like with glowing, fierce eyes. Li Chong yelled at the bosses to save the boy. No one moved. He tried to run, but was stopped. Boss Ling said Zhang Ya had to make the first move. Attacking now would steal his. Glong Ya smiled at the absurd idea. Their selves were showing. Before tentacles reached the boy, Zhang Ya sped in. He outran the tentacles, grabbed the boy, and tossed him to safety. Li caught him. The beast was enraged. With his glasses off, Zhang Xiaozhong was back. The tentacle monster grabbed him. Closer, Xiaoyang noticed something strange. Once the kid was safe, Li Cheng wanted to fight. But the bosses stopped him. If they didn't act, Zhang Ya would die. Li Cheng didn't get it, was the mission's point. Boss Ling found his stupidity funny. She thought the young man would at least fight monster to a draw. Seeing for Pam trapped, kill might be a fluke. Li Cheng never saw the scheme. Again, he was dumb. Instead of letting the devils explain, Zhang Xiaoyang spoke. He revealed the steel mill bosses. Cannibalism. Li Cheng had no idea. He was dumb. The Eastern Fortress crew opened fire on the enemy evolvers. Their guns lit up the park, hitting the steel mill, people from the side. They split into two groups, fought the evolvers. The other helped Xiaoyang against the tentacle monster. Little Shui led the second group with a Molotov. The kid was dangerous. He threw it hard, and monster swatted it, spilling oil and spreading flames. Instead of pain, the monster just stared at the boy. It was like seeing Little Shui brought back some humanity. It ignored the human it held. Meanwhile, the kid cursed the beast for taking his bomb. Little Shui's curse enraged the monster more. Since it could speak, it was an evolved mutant. Luckily, they had one too. Brother Chong moved fast, dodging tentacles that hit only pavement. The steel mill villains retreated behind trees. They watched in shock as a mutant fought the monster they feared. A mutant fighting with mutants was crazy to them. Brother Chong dodged well but couldn't attack. He was cornered in a tentacle trap. With his strength, he tore the tentacles apart. But those moves were distraction. The real attack came from behind. If not for a warning, a tentacle would have pierced his skull. After a fierce fight, the mutants paused to breathe. Seeing Brother Chong, Xiaoyang laughed and teased him. Baldy Pong was confused. The kid they picked up was joking with him. Then, Xiaoyang tore the tentacles, holding him like paper. Akyung pointed out an ambusher called Zhang Yaxiang. Old Axing said the Eastern Fortress leader had that exact name. Everything clicked. The young man tricked them. This hunt was a trap. The steel mill crew was being hunted by a strong fortress. Bosling scanned the enemy, worried about escaping. She thought their strongest fighter was only as strong as Li Cheng, but their firepower was unmatched. Xiang was the biggest problem, and the masked mutant was as strong as the tentacle monster. Boss Ling knew victory was impossible. Fighting back meant heavy losses, but she had an idea. Baldy Pang had to hold off the fortress crew. They worked well together. Baldy threw his hatchet, super strength, making it glow like a meteor. It exploded on the fortress side, kicking up dust and blocking vision. Baldy kept firing heavy attacks while others gave cover fire. This chaos stopped Old Lee's group, forcing them to hide. While others focused on their targets, Boss Ling watched the two youngest fortress member. Xiao Kai saw the threat and shielded the boy. He tried to guard his head, but Boss Ling's long legs were too fast. Fatty Kai stumbled. No match for an elite evolver. Boss Ling's plan was close. She grabbed Little Shui by his collar, alerting everyone. Was the worst. Little Shui didn't want to be a hostage. He tried to escape, but couldn't. Boss Ling punched his face. The tentacle monster was affected. He yelled for his son, filled with rage. Brother Chong used this distraction to attack. Perched on the monster's shoulders, he felt something odd. The beast ignored him. Xiao Yang told Brother Chong to let go. This confused the mutant. Xiao Yang saw the monster would risk its life for something important. Getting in its way was unwise. Holding Little Shui's neck, Boss Ling hissed at the fortress crew, threatening to kill the boy if they didn't drop their weapons. Noble Li Hung begged to take the kid's place. Boss Ling was pleased to see the fortress crew shaken and desperate over the hostage. If anything happens to Shuer, how will they face his mom? Boss Ling repeated her demands. Surrender weapons and move 100 meters back. Old Lee played it safe, lowered his gun, and told others to do the same. They had no power. Muscle Mommy kept giving orders. Next, she wanted the masked mutant to kill the tentacle monster. She felt so powerful she missed the coming attack. The monster attacked her fast, forcing the boss to drop the hostage and jump away. 2D77. Some goons were in the tentacle's path and were destroyed. Baldy Pang watched in horror as another man was killed. Boss Ling thought the masked mutant was holding the monster. She looked at Zhang Xiaoyang, who smiled back happily. The mutant stood beside him, both barely watching the fight. 2282. Li Hongyi told Shuai to run, but tentacles surrounded him. Xiao Yang said not to worry. Shuai was safe in safe tentacles. No one understood what he meant. They saw a boy caught by the monster, but it felt different. 2286. The beast held the boy gently, calling him son. Xiao Yang bragged about keeping Zhang Shenjia's family safe. Yes, we've met this monster before. Zhang Shangji must have the same mutation as Brother Chong. 2289, Shui cried, seeing his dad in the monster. Baldy Pang called it a drama, then ordered a retreat. Sadly for him and his men, they angered something otherworldly. 2092, holding his son gently, Shangji's tentacles struck. For revenge, Baldy Pang was caught first. He yelled at Boss Ling to help him to cut the tentacles. 2295, 2296, they always helped each other, but not now. Huang Ling ran for the trees, leaving everyone. She knew the monster was too strong. Her only hope was to use Wang Pong as bait. Sadly for Muscle Mommy, even that plan would fail here. 2300, she was too slow. Tentacles grabbed her ankles, smashing her face on the ground. Boss Ling's glasses and nose broke. She knew then that things would get ugly. 2303, she was dragged back. The tentacles showed no mercy. Baldy Pang smiled, seeing the witch who betrayed him now suffer too. Still, Pong wanted to use his last resources. He asked Li Chung for help. 2306, before the watchdog could help the boss who betrayed him, Zhang Xiaoyang appeared behind him for a quick talk. The young man offered, "Don't move and you'll live." Xiaoyang let the monster cause chaos. 2309, he started by bashing Baldy Ping's head into the ground. The first hit dazed Pang. He likely had a concussion. Then Shangji's tentacles quickly killed the bald man. He whipped and slapped with great force, tearing the man apart until his body was a mess. With Baldy gone, Boss Ling was next. The tentacles squeezed her, but her strength couldn't save her. 15, her fate was in Shangji's slimy tentacles. Boss Ling died slowly and cruelly. The tentacles squeezed harder until she bled everywhere. The pressure grew until she was crushed into paste. Shangji gave her a terrible death for taking his child. The final boss died, completing Nemesis of Evil Volume 3. Xiang gained 80 points, totaling 151. Now he understood why the mission spoke of an ally. Who knew he'd recruit another mutant? He turned to Liang, knowing the man had questions. First, he asked if Xiaoyang led the East Fortress. 2322 next, he asked about the earlier talk of cannibalism. Xiaoyang spoke plainly. People don't become evolvers by luck. Slowly, Li Chong began to understand. He remembered caring for a woman and her daughter at the steel mill. One day, the girl asked for his canned meat. He gave the meat to the girl, thinking it was no big deal. When he realized, Li Chong reacted strongly. Days later, he offered the girl his meat. Then the first tentacle monster attacks began. The woman Li Chong cared for lost her child. He realized the tentacle attacks were a lie to kill people. It sickened him. The canned meat given to fighters was human flesh. The bosses tricked him into becoming an evolver by making him a cannibal. Lee Chung felt furious. He pounded the bloody remains of his boss. He punched and screamed, covered in blood. Exhausted, he looked reborn. He turned to Xiaoyong, baring his fangs, asking if he gained powers the same way. Li Hongyi stepped in to calm things. They aren't cannibals. They know more than others. With Xiao Zheng's info, they know other ways to gain power. He gave Li Qing a mutant core. Showing is better than telling. Mutant cores are rarer than human flesh, but stronger and have no side effects. Li Cheng must have felt the side effects. Cannibalism makes evolvers struggle with strong emotions, leading to violence. Li Cheng can't go back. He must stop eating human flesh to control his urges. Xiaoyong was glad Shenzhen and his father reunited. 2344-2345 asked if he could speak Shangji. Mumbled. He only spoke vague words, but Xiaoyong understood him. Like Chong, Shangji's mind is fine despite his speech. Bringing the tentacle monster back would scare people. Shangji made the city his home. He's at peace, glad his son is safe. He called Xiaoyong super high IQ, his way of saying clever. With threats, the steel needs a leader. Maybe Li Chong should lead. He can't trust himself to lead, knowing he's a cannibal. Xiaoyong assigned Li Hongli to oversee the steel mill, and the cop accepted. Li Cheng swore to control his inner demon if he joined the fortress. 2354 as the park chaos something intense happened near City S's border. Survivors are under attack. Strange creatures chase them under a green city haze. They made tough choices, abandoning the lost. With plant monsters attacking, they ran and never looked back. Those left behind faced a painful death. As green smog spread, plants took over. After the attack, the victim was unrecognizable. Moments later, a plant-covered corpse rose. City S needs a gardener. Survivors thinned as they fled, but one woman's lungs failed. Her man urged to run or be torn apart. Suddenly, strange sounds echoed nearby. 2366, listening closely, they heard wind. We're near the forest edge. The exit is ahead, but mutants are close behind. They can't waste any more time. The couple cheered each other on. Safety was near. After more running, the forest edge light appeared. A loose vine caught the lady, moving as if alive. 2373, the vine choked her, lifting her. It was a giant Venus flytrap mutant, hungry. It happened fast. Her body was torn in half. Her lower body fell. Her man freaked out, yelling strange things. He was a weirdo. No time to grieve. The plant mutant's gurgling sounds were close. 2379, the leader slapped the man to snap him out of it. Xiang was dead. They couldn't help her. The group escaped, entering a new city. The plant mutants chased slowly, like horror villains. They lacked speed but had numbers. They looked like zombies. The leader ran until he found a familiar place. He knew they were in M City Wilderness Park. Strangely, the park was empty, abandoned by humans and zombies. After S City, it was no surprise the neighbors had left. On a street, they found someone poorly hiding. It didn't attack, so they thought it was human. They asked for the evacuation point. 2390. The one asking for directions was not human. It was Jiang Shenha, the tentacle monster. When he showed his true form, the survivors realized their mistake. They thought he was a mindless plant mutant. They ran again until sure the beast was gone. They wondered if areas outside the forest had also fallen. Then the hunters found them again. The gods must hate them. They ran constantly. This time they were surrounded. Every path was blocked. Hopeless, the survivors broke down. If they stayed in the forest, they might have lived. Xiang might be alive. 397. As mutants closed in, the boys faced a hard choice. Their leader seemed ready to act. He'd rather die by his own hand than by the creatures. For 39, luckily, that wasn't needed. Shangji's tentacles swept the streets, destroying the plant mutants. This was his territory. He wouldn't allow outsiders in the park. 24-2 in the eastern fortress, Zhang Xiaoyong stared at his kingdom under the moon. His mission went well. His community score was 62, store points 231. He was rich. 2405 with points. Checking the shop was fun. He could buy an armed deterrence box, 20, a black tech box, 50, or a superpower box, 100. The last one shocked him. He spent all his points, clearing the shop. Armed deterrence gave an armored jeep. Black tech gave a serum. The superpower box had an enslavement mark. The skill let him enslave one life. He didn't need it now. His allies were stable. After spending, a mission appeared. Weed Control Vol 1. He thought it was gardening. Things became clear when Shenji reported the plant mutant army. 2411 that night, fortress people gathered to see the tentacle monster. Shangji brought the saved group east to meet the boss. He dragged a mutant corpse for study. From the crowd, Shangji's wife and son ran to him. He could say son, but called his wife marry me. Only Xiang could understand his broken speech. 2416. The family reunion was strange and sweet. Tears and hugs were shared. Xiao Zhang examined the mutant corpse. Shangji tried to explain but lacked words. The survivor leader explained, They fled City S because of mutated plant creatures. City M is safer than City S, though still not safe. Heading to the fortress, the group saw many zombies. Xiaoyang sent a man to get his armored jeep 2 blocks away. Tonight he wants to check the city border. With the jeep and survivors' help, they reached the spot easily. In just hours, the vines grew much taller, covering more land. Xiaoyang wants to go deep into the jungle to understand the situation. The survivor just escaped that hell, so he didn't want to go back. Ignoring this isn't an option. The Westwind steel mill will be lost, hurting life and production. Xiaoyang felt they should get stronger first, so his people could handle problems alone. Old Li and his crew will join. Everyone will hunt for days. Time to grind. Near the steel mill, a mutant is eating zombies, causing trouble. Luckily, we won't see this ugly mutant for long. Xiaoyang moved like an assassin tonight. With one clean slash, he killed the zombie-eating mutant. With the big mutant gone, the crew used their guns on the rest. They fired many bullets, raining them on the normal zombies in the city. Xiaoyang led them to find mutant cores from their kills. They did this repeatedly, growing their supplies. Unknown to them, an overfed evolver hunted for fresh human meat in the city. Normal zombies are no threat to him. He kills normal walkers easily. With fewer humans, the evolver ate zombie meat. He craved fresh human flesh. Luckily for him, his favorite meals scent reached him. Li Honglei improved the steel mill. But new guns made some guards too confident. Some guards went too far from their base, just to kill zombies. The strong evolver smelled these guards. He licked his lips, wanting pure human meat, those who hadn't eaten their own kind. The smart evolver saw their strong weapons. Going alone was risky. He knew he should wait to hunt, but waiting made him drool like a hungry dog. At the fortress, Xiaoyang worked on his system shop. After 3 days of hunting, he called a meeting. He gave all the loot to Li Hongli and Zhang Qi to share. Old Li argued they shouldn't keep all resources when everyone helped hunt. The boss dismissed their worries. Others had weapons and ammo. They needed to boost a few top fighters, which was better than everyone evolving poorly. Also, the group trusted the boss. Xiaoyang had always made good calls. For Shan, the boss had something else. He took her to a private room, just them two. Nervously, she asked what would happen. Outside, Shuai, Wanwan, Zhangqi, and Chong listened. They heard their boss tell the woman to endure the pain. After odd noises, the door opened, revealing the eavesdroppers. Zhangqi gulped, noting how fast Xiaoyang finished. They thought he was intimate with Shan. It's good Zhangqi is here anyway. Shan held her arm, an empty syringe on the table. She had been injected. After many mutant cores, Zhangqi's now a top fighter in the settlement. Xiang wants to see Zhangqi and Shan spar. Zhangqi refused, saying he wouldn't hit girls. 2468, she'll let Shan slap him, telling her not to hold back. Zhangqi felt confident from his mutant cores. Before he could brag, Shan slapped him, nearly breaking his jaw. 247172, Brother Chong and Xiao Kai stopped him. Shan was surprised by her new strength. Xiaoyang gave her a serum, making her almost as strong as Brother Chong. Zhangqi thought he was stronger. Xiao Kai teased his mopey friend. Xiaoyang gave everyone roles for the woodland trip. He picked the new troop leader to guide them. 7-7. The leader refused, having escaped that place once. He swore never to return. Lulch mocked him. But the leader had no family there and preferred safe labor. The man who lost his girl volunteered to guide them. Buff evolvers searched buildings in the western suburbs. His brain slowed daily. He needed fresh human meat soon, or it would worsen. Distant banging interrupted the noise in his head. He ran towards the sounds. 24245, he opened an abandoned building's door to find two couples. Buffolver cleared his throat to stop them. Twice of the four recognized him unhappy. Buffolver said he wasn't stealing but sharing info. 2489, the women didn't trust him. They were all half monsters, so lying was pointless. Buff Evolver swore he wasn't. He found armed humans and needed help hunting. The buff half-monsters crowded him, watching his every move. The half-monsters agreed to trust the thief this once. If he lied, they'd eat him. He was accepted into the group. 2494, the redhead half-monster welcomed him warmly. Buff half-monster accepted her offer. As strange things happened in the city, Xiaoyang's group crossed the border. Su Xingkai, heartbroken, guided them. Xiaoyang praised his courage. Xingkai sought revenge for his girl and to save his parents in the jungle. 2499, the boss led Li Cheng covered the rear. Brother Chong and Shang Jie took left and right. Xingkai stayed in the middle. Xiaoyang took this risk to stop the jungle. Rescues were secondary. A wet vine fell, dropping sticky stuff on his face. 2502, Shinakai instantly tensed. He knew the substance, he yelled, for the boss to move. But it was too late. A slimy vine wrapped around Xiaoyang's neck like a python. 255506, the giant Venus flytrap appeared. The same one that killed Xiaotong. No one escaped it before, but Xiaoyang grabbed the vine and pulled. 2508, he pulled so hard the creatures inside came out. Jinkai was shocked speechless. 2510, the insides fell with thud, wriggling like slimy grape. 2512, the Venus flytrap tried to escape. Didn't chase, sending Shang and his tentacles instead. 25-4, the mutant didn't disappoint. Tentacles grabbed the plant. Twi-16, he pulled back his tentacles, dropping the plant. To everyone's surprise, the flytrap released green toxic fumes. The fumes didn't cause fear. They smelled good. 25-20-25-21. Knew inhaling some sweet-smelling smoke was bad. As he warned them, all light vanished. 25-23, everyone felt strange. Shunka's head pounded. 25-25, he saw the crew like statues. Then a bush rustled. A woman emerged from the grass, calling him. It was his girl, Xiang. Her death was fresh in his mind. Seeing her again overwhelmed him. He walked to her, feeling relief and disbelief. Xiang waved him closer, saying other survivors were near. Shankai, charmed by his girl, followed her voice. Meanwhile, the steel mill raid began. The half-monsters reached the factory, full of human meat. One boy drooled, craving the prey. Others to calm him, but hunger made his vision. Red, he charged before they could stop him. Unable to resist, the dumbass charged in, ready to eat without a plan. Guards saw him as he got close. But these guards couldn't react fast enough. Before they could shoot, one comrade was eaten. Gunshots alerted Li Hongyi. Guards had never met a half-monster. Zombies were easy, but this was too much. Their AK-47 bullets did nothing. Every hit healed instantly. Ignoring the bullets, the hunter did his job. He would have killed the guards if old Li hadn't kicked him. One kick sent the hunter spinning. He regained control midair and landed cleanly. From this distance, old Li could shoot him with powerful bullets. The dumbass had to retreat. Bullets from afar, beatings up close. Old Li told his men to take the injured to the infirmary. The wounded half-monster limped back to his crew. Humiliated, he collapsed before reaching them. His group showed disdain, not concern. They told him to wait, but he was too foolish. The dumbass yelled at his crew for meat to recover. But this group ditches the weak and foolish. He was arrogant until the end. Tired of his complaints, a girl stomped his neck until he died. Fewer mouths meant more meat for them. The 4 remaining half-monsters planned to get the meat in the factory. The boys struggled for ideas, but the girls knew. They looked human, so they just walk in. In the woods, Xingkai paused, feeling a strange pull to Xiao Tong's image. The creature, pretending to be her, grew impatient, its disguise failing. Before she could harm Xingkai, a flying knife beheaded the shapeshifter. Again, the poor guy watched his girl die brutally. Xiaoyang threw the blade. Even he was briefly fooled by the illusion. Still shocked, Xingkai raged at the boss. Yang made him look at the bushes again. The bloody trick faded, showing the truth. His dream girl was just tangled vines. Xiaoyang then woke everyone else from their trances. Li Chong felt years had passed. Even the mutants were affected. Xiaoyang thought the flower released a gas. To learn more, he dug into the vines. Maybe it was mutant core, but he'd only killed a puppet, not the real body. The vines went deep underground. The main body was likely far. He followed the roots and found something strange. It looked like a potato, a nutrient organ for a strange creature. He put it in his face, wondering if it was edible. He asked Shankai about these plants, but Shankai only knew they were dangerous. Old he might know more. Old he was an expert from the Agricultural Institute, stationed in a high-rise settlement. Eager to learn, Xiaoyang went to meet him. At the steel mill, the half-monsters began their plan. Red limped in, acting tired and scared, but showed the goods. To make it look real, she tripped near the gate. A guard on the wall saw her. The guards gathered, thinking she was a survivor. They knew the rules for strangers, but Red made them forget everything. One guard wanted to report, but another just wanted to bring her inside. Red cried for help and Simgard believed her. The other half-monsters watched, amused. Even they were impressed by Red's act. The other girl wouldn't be outdone, she claimed she was better. Red had secured their entry into the settlement. In the dark jungle, the crew struggled. Luckily, they reached the next city safely. Near the old camp, someone called Xingkai, his aunt. Yang peeked from a wall. Normally, he'd hug her, but he almost died earlier. He wiped his eyesight, laughed, saying the gas was gone. Auntie Yang's camp was also panicking. They thought anyone from the woods was an enemy. Some wanted to save Xingkai, others doubted it was him. Aunt Yang wanted to fight first. She led men to attack. Shangji easily defeat them, but Xiaoyang told everyone to calm down. Arrows flew. The big boss swatted them away easily. He yelled for them to stop, and Shankai told his aunt these people weren't enemies. Aunt Yang believed him and stopped her men. Shankai explained Xiaoyang's group was from outside the jungle. Asked about the others, Shankai said half his friends, including Xiaotong, were dead or hurt. City people were unsure about letting them in. The main problem was Brother Chong and Brother Shenha. The big boss spoke up, asking the mutants to help. Brother Chong removed his mask, saying he gentle despite his looks. Shang Jie flexed his muscles. Xiaoyang was embarrassed. He expected them to act normal. After much talk, Auntie Yang let them in. At the steel mill, Shan went to the gate to check on their Western people. He radioed Old Li to open the gates. Before entering, her senses caught something hostile nearby. It was quick and faint. The half-monsters hid their bloodlust. Old Li opened the door for Shan. Once she was inside, the half-monsters relaxed. They almost got caught. They all sensed the girl was a pure evolver, which they thought impossible. They only thought of how good she'd taste in the power boost. Shan went to the infirmary for the attack victims. Xiaoyang gave Shan infection inhibitors. Old Li was unsure. His bitten men showed no symptoms. The attacker might not be a zombie. Red claimed to have answers, saying mutated people hunt humans in the western suburbs. Old Li hadn't met Red, but she seemed to know. She cried, saying mutants were worse than zombies, smart and flesh-hungry. She barely escaped one after finding a bike. Old Li felt Red brought the problem to him. Red apologized. The guard defended her, blaming Old Li. Old Li said he just wanted info on the enemy. Red then warned of another attack. Seeing her lack of clothes, Old Li told her to rest. As others left, Shan watched the newcomer closely. Something about Red bothered her, but Shan blamed her own stress. In City S, the group reached a high-rise in green smog. Xiaoyang asked why they didn't use stronger buildings. Staying low was deadly. The green mist turned people into plant mutants. Only buildings 10 floors or higher were safe. The stairs at the top, Xiaoyang met Professor Hai, discussed the jungle situation and other city problems. Xiaoyang invited Brother Chong and Shengsh to meet everyone. No existed for T City, B City, or abroad. No rescue was coming. Xia Yang showed the professor a strange potato he found. He calmly said it was a plant mutant tuber. It was edible, and people had been eating it due to food shortages, despite its odd look. This was a key survival find. Their meeting was cut short by an emergency outside. Outside, many plant mutants surrounded the high-rise. They were called flower carts. His face darkened. He said flower carts could kill them all. He yelled for attention. Women and kids. To the top floor sealed rooms. Fighters must arm themselves. He'd rather save some than lose all. His people listened. They would die for the settlement. The professors thought Xiaoyang's was too young and should hide upstairs. The big boss scoffed, telling the professor he'd be fine. He was curious what monster scared everyone so much. Professor He warned that if they didn't reach the flower cart's core in time, they'd all die. The flower cart controls other plant mutants. It likely uses sense to launch big attacks. Its main body is near and angry. To the professor's panic, Xiaoyang opened the window. He pulled out a rifle, planning to test the enemy. From the top, he sniped the plant mutants. As expected, they were tough. They healed deadly wounds fast. Xiaoyang wants to test its strong healing power. He shot a mutant, making its body full of holes from far away. Like others, this shot-up monster stayed strong, then fell. Killing one takes 2 ammo clips. That's a bad trade, so people are scared. Zhang Xiaoyang has endless weapons and ammo in his own space. Pulling out crates shocked everyone, but when he opened the nailed crates, with his hands the people were confused. The crates held firebombs. Xiaoyang told people to use them if mutants got through. Without a word, he jumped out the window. His mutant brothers followed. 3 crazy guys jumped from the 16th floor. Their landings were cool. They posed while fighting the plant mutants. As they got close, the eager creatures rushed them. Xiang's hand dug into their heads. With one pull, the boss cut off the first enemy's head. Brother Chong was also good. He was fast and strong, fighting like the boss. Shenge was all show. His tentacles did the bloody work. The professor realized how silly he sounded telling Xiaoyang to hide. Luckily, Li Cheng was there to prepare everyone for stray mutants. He took charge, asking skilled people to grab firebombs and guard the stairs. Seeing hope, the resident spirits soared. Downstairs, Xiaoyang cleared out the last mutant plant. He told his mutant brothers to search bodies for cores. He really wants to see the flower cart everyone talks about. Fire easily killed the few mutants that got past. Thanks to Xiang, no one died. While others secured the building, he followed his gut into the woods. He found the twisted flower cart, everyone's nightmare. In the woods, the main beast causing trouble in City S coughed green fog. Suddenly, his body screamed danger shout. Yang dodged a fatal blow. This power might be like Zhang Shezhenha's tentacles. Still, Big Boss got good at fighting tentacles lately. He just needs to be stronger than it. Feeling threatened, the flower cart shot out thick spores. Too bad for the beast. Xiaoshang doesn't fall for the same trick twice. Before spores hit him, he held his breath as green clouds filled the air. The flower cart wiggled like a bug. It dropped its balls and feet came out. The flower cart tried to run with its many limbs. Zhang Xiaoyang won't let it escape. He drew a sign with his fingers and summoned the slave mark. His new power swirled around the beast. Minutes later, people in the building saw the flower cart's true form. The professor was shocked. He'll never forget how brutal that twisted beast was. After parking his new slave, Xiaoyang acted normal. He asked Zhang Shangja and Brother Chong if they got all mutant cores downstairs. Shangjie said they got many. Brother Chong translated well. One mutant friend speaks roughly. The other talks nonsense. It's tiring to listen. 2724, 2725, Professor, he asked about the flower cart in the driveway. Xiaoyang said the mutant was now with them. He showed the survivors it was safe. The old professor bravely approached the strange plant. He touched the flower cart nervously, asking how the young man tamed it. Xiaoyang ignored him and asked the professor's plant expert opinion. The old man thought even mutated, it keeps its plant instincts. Like animals, plants compete fiercely. They fight for sunlight, not prey. Trees grew tall for sunlight. Smaller plants adapted. Dense forests have thick canopies and little grass. He guessed the flower cart became aggressive because it lost its early edge. Without sunlight, it eats other living things. 7:34. Suddenly, the flower cart sent a vine towards Xiaoyang. Chun quickly drew a small knife to defend him. Unaffected, the young man told his helper to stand down. The vine couldn't disobey due to the slave mark. The vine was heading for his spine. 27:38, 27:39. The vine touched his skin, sending something into his nerves. Flower cart confirmed the professor's idea. S-City, a plant battlefield. They eat animals and humans for food. The huge plant was now his servant. Flower Cart's survival was Xiaoyang's job. To show thanks, Flower Cart opened, showing its glowing core. As a sign of trust, it gave the soft core to its new master. When it touched Xiaoyang's palm, the core merged into his body. Li Cheng was worried as always. This was a simple ritual to bind master and servant. To test his new power, Xiaoyang moved his palm. Suddenly, many vines appeared and shot out powerfully. The vines quickly wrapped around a tree, holding it tightly. 27:50 with a thought. Xiaoyang's vine crushed the thick tree. Shangji was confused. The vine seemed stronger than his tentacles. Xiaoyang unlocked the gardener achievement, earning 150 points. As S-City was freed, the Western steel mill was attacked by an unknown threat. The mutant redhead cannibals set traps, and the mill survivors fell for them. After a knock, she looked helpless and opened her door. A man offered a late snack, a tasty one. She was good at faking helplessness. The boy tried to seem like a good guy, caring for the newcomer. Red pulled him closer, thanking him sincerely. 27:59. Seeing it as a signal, the man pounced on the woman. She quickly pulled back, startled, and went inside. To his credit, the man apologized for misreading the signal. That wasn't true. Red wanted to go outside due to thin walls. The man followed her. It was a trap. Outside the mill, they were very loud. When they finished, he was exhausted. He was completely charmed by Red's beauty and skill. They had been intimate, but he never asked her name. Suddenly, the mood changed. He saw a torn sleeve from his friend's jacket in a dirty drum. 27:68, he opened the lid to find bloody insides and unrecognizable soup. Red pounced, grabbing his neck. At least he had his fun before being eaten. Red's group hid outside the mill. Musclehead was caught sleeping and hit on the head. He was on watch. Baldy hated anyone sleeping on duty. This was vital. They needed to be ready for Red's attack signal. As the boys argued, Blondie grew restless without Red's signal. Red seemed to be keeping all the fresh meat in the mill for herself. The three checked the factory for Red. Their keen smell led them to drums of blood and guts. Red had gone solo. Blondie says there was a simple fix. If Red could get in, so could she. Betrayed once, Baldy opposed it. One meat hog was enough. Musclehead pulled Baldy away. Blondie was their only chance. Baldy saw that. He let Blondie go but warned her. If she copied Red, he'd kill her, even if he died. After some thought, they used the earlier successful plan. Blondie acted helpless and knocked on the gates. The front gate guards first raised their pistols. Near tears, Blondie told them zombies chased her, and she barely escaped. Seeing her, the guards felt lucky to get another beauty. Some said Blondie looked even better. Before Blondie entered, Red stormed out. She warned the boys not to trust the witch, saying Blondie was a mutant who tried to eat her. Red yelled at the boys to shoot the flesh eater. Trusting her, they shot the lady, chasing her out. Blondie felt bullets tear through her, leaving deadly wounds. Shot full of holes, she tripped, exposing herself. Guards ran for gasoline to burn her. This let Blondie recover and escape. The three guards were careless. While they reported, Blondie limped back to her group. After her escape, she slumped at their feet. Damaged, Blondie begged for her life, promising to obey. Baldy ignored her pleas. They knew what being compromised meant. He lifted a large boulder with one hand. Could always find new food for the settlement. Before he could crush her, Baldy's blood spilled first. Musclehead stepped in, slitting his throat from behind. His bald head hit the floor, then his headless body. Musclehead licked his blade, tasting the blood. Blondie thanked him. He promised her Baldy's arm and leg to heal. Musclehead would eat the rest. Blondie saw Musclehead's greed. If she died, he'd get scraps. With this ambush, he got the most. Inside the mill, leaders noticed more missing members. Liangi was stressed. How could he lead with so many gone? Tired of the mystery, Shanshan made her move. She checked the mill's edge for clues. She soon found the bloody drums of horror. She brought armed men. They confirmed their boy's torn jacket was in the mess. Horndog's shoe floated there too. Red felt trapped. Baldy's gang must have found her leftovers. Shanshan saw no signs of a fight. It was a quiet night. She asked the newcomer what this meant. Knowing this, Red shivered. She couldn't use her usual tricks on Shanshan. Shanshan quickly drew her blade, throwing it at Red's vital spots. The newcomer saw her life flash before her eyes. Before the dagger hit her chest, Red moved with inhuman speed. The knife flew past, destroying some trees. Shanshan suspected Red from the start. Now they had proof. Red saw her situation. She was exposed. Her free meat scam was over. She lunged at the nearest man. She pulled out a knife, took the guy hostage, and threatened to cut his throat. Shanshan pushed back. If they killed another, Red wouldn't leave alive. Red couldn't accept being caught by a young woman. She'd rather die and take others with her. She slowly walked away, threatening to cut her hostage's artery. Far enough, Red grabbed the hostage's gun and kicked him away. She shot the guy in the butt out of spite and fled the steel mill outskirts. Calmly, Shanshan grabbed her gun and aimed precisely. She fired, hitting the cannibal in many places. Red pushed through her new wounds, bleeding heavily. Shanshan chased the mutant on her bike. Li Hongli stopped her. They didn't know. If Red had backup, they needed to lock down the settlement. Uncle Li was right. Shanshan ordered stricter screening for new survivors. Newcomers would be quarantined. She'd report the threat at the main fortress. Li Hongli was impressed by her quick and decisive handling of the situation. In S-City Woods, mutated plant undead still roamed. Zhang Xiaoyongs and Shengsh led the pack, clearing obstacles with vines and tentacles, practicing new abilities. For these two powerful mutants, clearing the area was easy. This let Brother Chong and Li Chung get cores and burn bodies. They made a huge bonfire from undead bodies. The professor felt both safe and pressured by their power. Xiang's Utopia mission sped up, earning him many points. His group was doing well. With plant mutants no longer a threat, Xiang's crew and S-City survivors quickly reached the main fortress. Uncle Shen welcomed them and updated the young boss. Xiaoyang introduced the S-City people, led by Professor Hai, a botany expert. S-City people will stay in the fortress for now. Later, they'll move to the city jungle edge to build a third settlement. Shanshan arrived on her bike. She urgently reported the steel mill events and suggested similar security for the main fortress. Professor Hai's people were exempt from strict screening. The boss vouched for them. Xiaoyang wasn't alarmed by the steel mill losses. He saw it as good news. More threats mean more mission rewards for his utopia. The fourth villain mission began. Clearing western outskirts threats would give him 120 points. Meanwhile, Red, barely alive, reached her hiding spot. She heard footsteps. Her black heart skipped a beat. Blondie, now recovered, loomed over the traitor and laughed at her mistake. Injured, Red crawled back to those she betrayed. She tried to call her actions a misunderstanding. She almost got Blondie killed, so a death sentence was fair. Blondie told Muscle to beat Red to death so they could eat her. Muscle hit Blondie with his rusty metal pipe instead. Again, he attacked a teammate from behind. Blondie was foolish to trust him. Muscle had no problem using the same trick twice. She was doomed. Blondie warned Red not to trust him. He'd betray anyone for his own gain. Red didn't care, as long as she wasn't the one getting hit. Blondie tried to remind Muscle of Red's betrayal to save herself. Words meant nothing to cannibals. She then offered her body to Musclehead. Sadly, Musclehead preferred redheads. He killed Blondie with his bare hands. Then his usual plan. He offered Red an arm and a leg to heal, while he ate the rest of Blondie. At the main fortress, leaders discussed the Western cannibals. Li Chung was once a cannibal, but Shanshan's report showed these mutants were worse. These people had no human limits. They were selfish, angry, greedy, bloodthirsty, and craved human meat. Xiaoyang noted them for later, but had urgent tasks. Lung would return to the sea steel mill for support and security. 2 months passed without incident. In the woods, survivors planned to move. Staying meant death. So they packed food and supplies and braved the woods. They went out at night, as plant creatures are active during the day. Their timing didn't matter. Mutant plants still spotted them. Many were caught and eaten right away. The rest ran, but got trapped in a deadly circle. Only one path remained, but spooky noises came from it. They'd die anyway, so they risked the dangerous path. After more running, the survivors were totally exhausted. A huge tree crashed down, stopping their run. The group hid, fearing what knocked down the tree. When dust cleared, they saw people cutting trees with chainsaws. 2088, a survivor recognized Zhu Xingkai. Xingkai was surprised to see Liang, a familiar face. He told Liang how they settled in M-City. Plant mutant footsteps interrupted their reunion. Kai laughed at Liang's panic. He said plant freaks weren't a big deal now. 2892, Xingkai calmly radioed in a creature encounter. He then invited Liang and his group to join them and move aside. 2894, soon the anti-plant squad arrived with flamethrowers. Liang and his group were stunned. The squad took aim and prepared to burn the undead. Their flamethrowers burned the mutants, making them growl and scream. 2898, 2899, 2900, Li Chong, Brother Chong, and Shangxi also arrived. They easily handled such threats now, thanks to Chief Xiaoyang. Liang was amazed by their strength of the mutated duo. Xingkai invited Liang to join the settlement and meet the chief. Their third jungle settlement grew well. They even built a farm. Leon couldn't believe it. While they lived in fear, others farmed in a monster-filled jungle. It wasn't normal farming. They grew mutated crops. 2905, 2906, 2907, Lang freaked out and threw the mutated potato away. Shinakai explained. These crops, like plant creatures, were modified into high-yield food, thanks to Chief Xiaoyang. Professor, he led the project to farm mutated crops for food. Xiaoyang's link with Flower Cart made modifying crops easy. Harvest is near. Land reclamation is smooth. The professor handles expansion. Li Chang's security. With the third settlement stable, it's time to deal with Western cannibals. Two people walked M-City's borders, acting like they owned it. It was young Xiaoyang and Brother Chong. the mutant warned his chief they were followed. Xia sensed a group as strong as Zhang's team. Their plan was simple. Feed Brother Chong. Red and Musclehead, as expected, hunted them, eager to feast. Musclehead stopped Red from attacking carelessly. He saw they were too late. Another group had claimed the prey. A large group of cannibal mutants, bulky men and women in odd clothes, surrounded Xiaoyang and Brother Chong. They drooled at the sight of such a prize. Stupid cannibals. This group had never seen a pure evolver like Xiaoyang. They wondered what power they'd gain from eating him. They thought Xiaoyang controlled zombies because of Brother Chong. They hoped to gain that power by eating him, becoming unstoppable. Red clicked her tongue and gave way to the larger squad. Musclehead, however, wanted to stay and watch. Within a minute, chaos erupted downstairs. 29-25 Brother Chong tore through evolvers like a beast. Zhang Xiaoyang calmly wielded his blade, taking heads with every slash. The remaining squad fled once they realized they were the prey, not the hunters. A cannibal tried to escape by climbing the building where Red and Musclehead hid. This put them in danger. If he noticed them, they'd be dead. Their fear came true. Xiaoyang easily lifted a huge steel beam. He threw it perfectly like a bullet. The beam stabbed Evolver from behind, killing him. No one survived Xiaoyang's pipe. Red and Musclehead barely avoided the Evolver's blood and guts. Xiaoyang put his blade away, happy. These strong cannibals likely had variant cores. Red and Musclehead stayed still, not daring to breathe until the Omega threat left. After the man and zombie left, they saw only 3 bodies were eaten. They hit the jackpot by hiding. They could feast on the remaining corpses. Patrolling the western outskirts, Xiaoyang scolded Brother Chong for wasting meat and eating little. Suddenly he sensed movement inside an abandoned building. He looked that way and summoned his blade again. Knowing he was seen, a man with a crossbow appeared, warning them away. Xiaosun saw he was just a normal, unevolved civilian. Four Eyes threatened to shoot, but he was clearly terrified. So Xiaoyang tried talking first, using a gentler approach. Startled, Four Eyes nervously raised his weapon and shot an arrow. Normal weapons couldn't harm the chief. Xiaoyang easily caught the arrow. Seeing his weapon useless, Four Eyes felt defeated. In a flash, the young man crossed the distance in one step. To stop him, Xiaoyang snatched the weapon from the civilian. Ignoring Four Eyes, he calmly called for others to come out, saying he wasn't a cannibal. As he expected, a dozen scared civilians were hiding in the building. Xiang admired those who survived without cannibalism. For now, he joined them to find a better spot. Four Eyes said they were going to Xing Steel Mill. They heard a radio message about a survivor settlement there. That was the plan. They realized normal people couldn't survive against the cannibals. They heard about a human settlement in the north, hunting cannibals. They believed it was real. Rumor said the leader could fight 5 or 6 cannibals easily. But with 1,000 cannibals in the west, one person couldn't protect everyone. Four Eyes thought cannibal evolvers hunted alone. Some in his group disagreed. Four Eyes believed if cannibals worked together, they'd have killed each other by now. The dissenter wanted to go to Xiong's steel mill to find his brother. His brother's survival chances were slim. The Zheng people might be cannibals. Four Eyes was partly right. The old steel mill leaders were cruel. The new chief, Xiaoyang, explained how he killed them and changed everything. The dissenter tearfully said his brother was Li Cheng, a former officer. The link to the next episode should be appearing on your screen. Just click on it and you can watch it.